Sampai cakap sehari sia tunggu.
Ternyata Khalid, oke. Mau
Aduh.
rivernya ya.
Halo, ay on time ah. Ngam draft hot.
Oke. Karena dangerous grass
Ngam.
menurut ini banyak Gulliver dan juga Kalia ini lebih bagus.
Lambat.
Tinggal 2 tebel lainnya yang bakal
On time teruk, men.
Iya. Ini kalau Arlot Queen sih resah, Pak.
Aku makan mandi semua rasa kurang Rino tak nampak muka kau.
Nah, ini nih dilema mau yang mana sekarang. Ada Uranus ada Elis.
Aku makan mandi semua rasa kurang Rino tak nampak muka kau.
Waduh.
Game-game seru ni.
Semuanya support system soalnya.
Rino tangkap bola takraka semalam.
Semangat tuh.
Ini juga lagi dilema nih, 1 tiket playoff terakhir mau kasih siapa?
Assalamualaikum Rino Wow awal pukul 7.29.
Mau.
Kekerasan gitu.
Aduh.
Mas Ben dulu ya, Sora, ada Lapu. Oke, Sora. Komposisi ya, Om ya?
Ya Allah, kena letaknya sakit walsa aku.
2 jungler dihilangkan.
Ada 2 janji aku tak pernah percaya. Janji politik dengan janji Rino.
Next lah dulu. Oke.
Akan menyimpan dulu junglernya kemana nih ya.
Oh, berarti bisa Lancelot ya.
Wow.
Karena sudah ada Tenisla ya.
Apa
Tenisla kan
kata
udah
kita
top
buat
4.
guessing game?
113.
Jarang-jarang Rino seawal ni. Anjir sesi finally time
Gimana
untuk
ya?
letak air garam.
Akumulasi dari kita 2 bulan main, 2 bulan 1 minggu nih.
Ya.
Ditentukan dari match yang ini.
Iya. Dan Cloud juga masih available buat sekarang. Kalau misalkan emang mau diambil sama Kenzie.
Iya, main 2 ya.
Iya. Atau mau combo yang lebih secure lagi ada Granger.
Iya, sebenarnya kalau mau lebih sadis Skari sih.
Tapi Cloud tetap ya.
Cloud, itu dia. Dan satu lagi siapa nih?
Berarti butuh EXP yang setidaknya punya
Uranus.
Iya, Uranus kalau durability. Kalau mau tabrak lagi ada lapu-lapu, Om.
Iya. Siapa nih?
Dan itu dia.
Lapu-lapu.
Hai Kerusi.
Lapu-lapu. Jungle-nya bakal ke arah mana?
Sebenarnya ini adalah tugas buat assassin ya, buat nyari
Sedap
Cloud
oh
ini
letak
ya.
garam tu.
Ya.
Lancelot.
Lancelot ada, Nolan ada.
Ya.
Tapi kalau sebenarnya ingat Adorio, ingat Hayabusa juga
Hayabusa.
ya. Atau
Yisun-Shin
Yisun-Shin iya gimana?
bisa banget Yisun-Shin ada Traceless buat kabur nanti.
Yap.
Untuk bisa menghindar ya dari special migration.
Oke, oke. Masih banyak opsinya sebenarnya. Dan langsung menuju ke arah Barat.
Oke. Tapi bagus juganya Barat adalah Detonas welcome, immune.
Iya.
Waktu dari Gengarino.
Halo.
Wah,
Dia
ingat.
bakal immune.
Guys,
Ingat
tak dulu
rebellion
guys.
zaman dulu ya.
Oh, men.
Wow. Lagi Coach Why Not mengejutkan dengan drama.
Tadi aku letak ubat.
Tapi harus hati-hati.
Aku
ya,
tak
karena
ubah Alsa tu sedap oh.
Iya, iya.
Jadi untuk range-nya dia bisa di outrange nanti.
Like dia punya effect. Boleh kata immediately lah.
Detonas welcome.
Yep.
Apakah
Sorry lambat, it's okay though guys.
Masih game 1 sabar.
Tahu tak apa. Tapi kalau korang yang lambat, korang kena tap lebih sikit ah.
yang
Okey.
diperlihatkan juga untuk
Letak
adanya
ubat usaha buat berdawang. Air garam baru gentle.
Woi.
Boleh jujur sih Navi mereka lack of damage di early ya.
Bro is low key masuk case turn.
Hati-hati dan ya,
Oh.
kita
Ada
selalu
Dato'
memaksakan
Nerino.
kontes di turtle.
Oke.
Oke. Ini dia match terakhir untuk di babak regular season. Geek Fab Unity
Ada
ready.
Daytona?
Navi Nation ready. Jadi langsung saya
Ada Daytona?
kepada suaranya.
Dia tu nak arcade tu.
Wah, ini dia.
Barat dia.
Barat.
Dek, tu nak.
Memenangkan match ini akan mendapatkan 1 tiket
Barat.
playoff terakhir yang tersisa
Dek,
juga.
tu nak.
Yep.
Dengan munculnya Barat.
Barat
ini pasti
jungle
bukan
lah
atas
siap.
nama
Oi,
Barat.
mode nak pergi play off. Bawa surprise draft ni.
Untuk di sini Barasnya bakal dipakai untuk immune-nya nanti ya.
Aha.
Ketika sedang
Side
melakukan
effect
Detonas
ubat
welcome.
Alsa ni.
Minimal bisa makan 1 atau makan retribution nanti.
Yep.
Karena mereka bakal main front to back, gak bisa lompat ke belakang, beda dengan sistem dari Geek di mana bisa langsung lompat ke belakang. Dan bahkan bisa mencicil untuk front to backnya kalau sampai Kenzie-nya jadi dengan Cloud yang kita mention dari tadi. Ini bakal pedih juga.
Ya, dan kebetulan nggak ada Purify ya. Jadi
Barat
kalau
ya.
siapapun yang tabrak ya bisa kena Detonas welcome. Tapi Baloyski
Oke. Coba agresif permainan. Tapi Baloyski masih berhasil kabur. Tadi dia juga mengamankan
dikejar.
dirinya. Tapi dikejar.
Kejar.
Apro. Flicker.
Wah,
Tidak boleh
mati.
dilepaskan.
Mati Rob.
Bahkan di bagian belakang coba lihat Jesus siap untuk memberikan backup.
ya ini bukan tinju dibalas tinju ya, tapi flicker dibalas flicker.
Yap, dan yang seperti selalu kita bahas juga Harit bukan gak bagus buat dipilih lawan Cloud, tapi memang karena tidak menggunakan emblem fighter
Jadi-
membuat sustain-nya kurang. Tapi poin plus untuk
Sorry
Harit sendiri
lambat
adalah-
Rino.
Yes.
Sampai.
Oh,
Oh,
Hey.
Bunker.
Ada monyet ketul.
Mahal itu ya.
Iya.
Balik lagi.
Export tadi ya udah dikeluarin juga.
Iya, karena hari di sini kan pakai emblem mage. Jadi mau gak mau dia gak sustain di lane tapi bisa menangin buat gold crate nanti.
Wah, ini serem juga ada Dino di sini.
Iya. Dia
Ini-
ngetes dulu tadi tuh. Nih gue sprint masih kuat gak ya?
Udah lama nih gak muncul nih.
Biasa dia nginin tanah dulu kan.
Gara-gara tahanan
Oh
dia.
masih kuat.
Oke. Dan
Talia
kita tahu
Kimi
bagaimana
Gwyn.
mandirinya juga ya untuk Barat bisa langsung
Dia ingat
mencicil
pakai
keberadaan
Twitter.
dari turtle-nya.
Barat yang tadi. Iya tuh.
Sama Gifam.
Wah dikuasain full dong.
Gak bisa deket sama sekali.
Ditabrak.
Langsung.
Diselek sepatu
Aduh.
diberikan gangguan. Nazar harus pergi ke titik yang berbeda terlebih dahulu. Namun
Yang
dibagi
Barat
bola
nak tekan
kepada
hati
God
terus.
Laner. Dibilang ada mayem tidak, dibilang perang juga belum.
Memang belum diajak ya.
Belum.
Belum diajak nih. God lanernya masih dibiarin dulu. Yap. Itu dia.
Oke,
Purify.
sementara sekarang Ajize berhasil mundur dengan satu Crimson Beacon dan juga Purify.
Sebenarnya kombonya serem ya. Traction Pulse. Ini bisa ditabrak tapi wow. Arashi versus everybody.
Oke, sementara sekarang Kenzie.
Dimakan.
Tempatnya berbeda, langsung dimakan begitu saja. Bahkan sekarang dia terus welcome tadi. Menelan ke
Kalau
Ramoy.
teralti.
Tapi masih
Mati
ada
lah Barat
pergerakan
ni.
dari Marcel sudah hadir pula guna untuk bisa membalaskan mereka. Mendapatkan
Apa
Ando.
plan?
Tapi Marcel masih terlalu.
Makan lepas tu.
Yap, Marcel masih bisa mundur.
Ya.
Tapi itu dia.
Lepas tu apa bodoh.
Escape dari
Yap,
Barat. So,
Iya, kembalikan Parsa tu aku rasa.
Tapi dia minim buat bisa escape. Jadi kalau Detoros welcome memang sudah dipakai untuk maju ke
Padahal
depan.
ada
Kalau
chain
buat
stand
teamfight,
sedap tadi.
Ya gak bakal bisa kabur. Kalau lawan masih bisa main kiting.
Oke. Ini masih
Masuk
dipegang
lepas
sama
tu
Navi
tak ada
sebenarnya
jalan
untuk
keluar.
Bagaimana gold yang mereka pegang.
Kan tak ada jalan keluar tu tak apa.
Tahan, tapi ya
Lepas
punishment
makan
demi
Kimi tu
punishment
apa
bisa dilakukan
plannya?
sama Geek Fam. Combo crowd control mereka juga serem.
Yap.
Ya kan tidal strike, bisa special migration dan itu adalah skill-skill kecil gitu, bukan source ultimate yang besar om.
Yap, benar. Tapi setup dari Balo ini sekarang yang memang dibutuhkan ya untuk Geek juga. Kalau mereka mau dapetin point kill, belum tampak sama sekali. Belum terlalu bisa dapetin target ya, karena tebel-tebel ada Apro dan juga Andoryu. Dua hero yang memang tebel, plusnya lagi Kars juga nih masih. Kalau memang Kars yang kena Tsunami Slam ada penalty zone. Yang mudah untuk bisa dilakukan oleh Kars tadi.
Oke.
Dia kena Ellie sekali ada ulti lah. Boleh lah. Terizla kan.
Apakah
Mahal lah
game
tapi
player mereka
itu je lah
akan
yang ada masalah.
join the fight di area turtle yang sekarang sudah muncul juga?
Oke.
Harusnya butuh sih ya kalau buat Navi. Buat Geek juga sama nih. Sama-sama butuh untuk hadir semuanya. Karena Navi kalau memang mereka mau menangin tim fight, ya mereka harus kerja sama bareng-bareng nih, kumpul bareng.
Nah sekarang kembali Navi mulai menguasai area dari turtle tersebut bahkan barusan.
Mati terus. Oh, play lah kali ya.
Kombinasi yang begitu baik antara Baloy
Play.
dan Azara, tapi Baloy
Lama.
sekarang udah langsung pakai lawan.
Oh,
Marcel
ujung.
masih bisa bertahan dengan sedikit SP di dalam tubuhnya dan Gize akankah berhasil kabur tapi barusan Zeon memberikan sebuah gertakan.
Wah, itu job desk yang dibagi dengan begitu bagus dari Geek Fam.
Yep.
Oke, Nazaranya dapetin ke arah Afro.
Kalau fasa
dan
semua
juga
dari
Baloy
kiri,
Speed
boleh
Andoryu.
pergunakan
Dan
chord.
akhirnya free untuk bisa
Dah
melakukan
salah tu
contribution
dari
Nazara.
dulu tu.
Bagus pisan tadi oi.
Iya.
Dan
Dari
di awal tadi
dulu
memang
Parsa
Gengarino
banyak gila
tinggal
hero
di
boleh
Geek.
pergi kat dia.
Cuman Zeon belum bisa nge-deliver damage yang masih dibutuhkan nih. Buat Navi, jadi goalnya masih bisa dipakai berkat satu turtle yang didapetin dan juga ada 2
Itu
point kill.
memang lumrah.
Oke.
Hero
Dan
mesh.
akhirnya gold yang sempat dipegang sama Navi ini udah
Kalau
mulai
hero
transfer untuk
mesh,
Geek Fam pelan-pelan.
Hero-nya
Tarik lagi dan itu dia chain CC
apa
yang
macam
begitu
kebanyakannya
merasakan
semua
targetnya
jenis
satu-satu.
Iya.
hero enemy tak boleh sampai kan. Dia memang memang rosak tu hero mesh tu.
Kalau memang mereka ready
Dia
untuk
basically
bermain,
dia match
coba
dealer,
untuk paksa ada team fight yang
Chain
dilakukan
stun
Navi.
tapi orang tak boleh sampai kan.
Diusir
Poin aku
sedikit,
guys
Baloy
ni
hadir.
dekat situlah jatuh.
Ya, masih belum mau
Jatuhnya
di-initiate
main
terlebih
peranan
dulu ya.
mekanik
Kalau
player
ini
tu
ada
kan.
Flicker untuk menjangkau plus masih ada Purify
Kat mana
juga.
kau nak ulti,
Tapi Kars
timing
belum
bila
terlalu
kau nak
aktif untuk
ulti.
join juga Om ya.
Yap. Si nunggu dulu sih kalau buat si Karsya tadi ya.
Ya, palunya berat sih. Jadi
Ya, ilah
mobilitasnya
palunya.
Hoki ke barat,
tertahan.
apa?
Kalau si
Dalam
bisa
tampak, oh.
terbang ya dia lompat ya.
Heeh.
Tuh, kalau si Teresa
Tapi
lompat,
satu
wah,
benda yang
keluarin
yang
penalti
tahu
zone.
keras lah barat.
Palunya dibawa-bawa
Iya.
sekarang ini ya Allah.
Ya, maaf dah.
Keras.
Salah lagi aja.
Cumanya bila letak kat jungle
Bentar
yang
lagi
tak
juga
pasti
Turtle
sebab tak ada
akan segera
flicker.
kembali muncul. Yang harusnya mungkin kalau kita ngelihat dari Turtle 1 yang flawless banget ya buat Navi. Ini perlahan udah mulai dikontes, dipaksa sama Geek Fam. Dan akhirnya jadi netral lagi.
Dan juga awareness-nya Navi juga harus dituntut banget sini ya. Danger keras lah.
Tuh.
Dan barusan adalah potret di mana tadi Gig bagus
Navi
banget.
ganas.
Nih, posisi Nazara dan juga Balo ya. Apalagi Nazara kan, karena dia Guinevere, dia bisa ngisi di belakang dari Turtle Pit tadi. Jadi lebih mudah untuk bisa melompat nanti. Sedangkan Aboy cuma bakal main dari jarak jauh. Kalau memang ada yang keangkat dengan special migration, akan diteruskan dengan si Aboy.
Yep. Dan sekarang Kars sudah hadir. Siapa yang diangkat kayaknya bakal langsung
Lepas.
dilompatin Kars deh.
Ya lepas saja kayaknya.
Yep.
Karena ada trade yang bisa dilakukan sama Geek Fam adalah Kenzinski. Yang langsung mendapatkan outer bottom turret.
Ya, minimal ada trade juga bersama
Oke.
Force.
Dan zaman Force sudah di pop up.
Ya, masih ada battle mirror rematch untuk kabur bagi Kenzinski ya. Jadi aman banget, harusnya ini masih trade yang cukup adil gak sih Om?
Adil banget sih. Karena Turtle tukar dengan Tarat ya, bahkan lebih untung buat Giggs harusnya. Karena nggak bisa tumbuh lagi ya buat Tarat.
Oh no.
Skypier, Aboy.
Oh no.
Iya, karena butuh banget ya untuk
Lari.
bisa nge-follow up.
Ay, kenapa handbrake
Sementara sekarang
men?
ada 1-4-3.
Aduh, makan terus lah Barat.
Ya. Mereka berusaha untuk bisa menumbangkan siapa peringkat dalam area tersebut.
Dia gue ni, kau boleh ni geng. Kau boleh
Dengan waktu yang cukup lama.
window dia kecil tapi kau boleh cancel lah skill 2.
Player dari Gig.
Wah,
Mereka
Macam tadi kan, kalau Barat tekan je ulti saya siap.
Terisi Om, tapi Om.
Dia se-chance dia boleh makan aku Windu. Sebelum Windu immune.
Tapi
Wih,
Baloy
mati. Aduh, sedih.
masih berhasil selamat Baloy.
Wah, ini
Aduh.
lumayan berat sih. Navi hero-hero jalan kaki.
Iya, mereka nggak bisa kejar sama sekali kan.
Iya, dan juga sekalinya kena crowd control dari Geek Fam yang continuously seperti ini. Gak bisa react banyak Om.
Bener, dan ini Andorio bakal jadi samsak aja sih sepertinya. Dan Kenzie sangat sakit sekarang untuk damage basic attack dari Cloud. Dan ya jalan untuk Navi sendiri adalah sekarang menunggu nih. Untuk gignya yang ngebuat. Atau ya Navi mungkin harus bisa nge-react dan meng-cover biar Andorionya juga bisa di depan.
Bagus banget
Ya,
loh tadi.
jangan sampai kayak tadi bisa kita lihat Andorionya di geng, diangkat ada 4 tapi yang ngedamage cuma 1 tadi kan.
Yep.
Lagi
Dan tadi
oke
juga
Basia
Dia
bukan
dari
hero
Nazara
yang
juga
sama
yang
lah.
nggak buru-buru gitu loh langsung ke
Barat
Kayak
bukan
Mia.
pure tank.
Dia sepatah migration aja.
Dia ada skill ulti
Habis
tu kan.
itu baru beberapa saat kemudian baru di
Makan tu dengan skill 2 dia pun.
Twin swing
Main
buat
peranan.
Marcel ya, tanky banget sih ini.
Barat ni lebih dekat dengan
Tuh, udah 20%
Fredrin
untuk
maybe.
production. Kenzie bahkan main bebas di
Fredrin
bawah
ah.
dan kita melihat Lord memang ada nih, tapi untuk setup sebenarnya Gig bisa, tapi Gig pastinya akan memaksimalkan ya rumput-rumput yang tambahan untuk di map Dangerous Grass.
Oke.
Main pick off, coba buat pancing juga.
Oh, udah mulai maju kah? Belum ya. Masih sabar dulu pastinya untuk satu sama lain karena Lord sudah mulai ditarik ulur oleh keduanya.
Oke, masalah.
Terlihat beberapa player. Terlihat kali ini siapa saja yang memiliki efek sisi. Traction pull dalam sendiri kuaka. Crimson Bacon. Serta Nazara. Kembali berhasil mendapatkan karena satu player dan itu dia.
Aduh.
Dia berhasil diamankan. Langsung dibanting begitu saja. Baloskinya berhasil kabur dengan satu flicker yang dia miliki. Dan Kenzie melihat dari kejauhan. Akan seperti apa. Dengan damage yang sudah mulai memburi. Namun sekarang Nazara kembali hadir bersama dengan rekan-rekannya.
Wah, ini Andorio ketemu sama Guinevere sih PR
Udah barat
banget
ini,
loh. Dari
barating
tadi
loh.
nggak bisa retri dia, kena
Iya,
angkat.
iya, apalagi dia barat kan, hitbox dari barat itu besar banget.
Iya.
Sesuai body ya. Dan harus terangkat terus-terusan juga. Tapi minimal sekarang Jize sudah mulai memegang Sky Pierce. Dan Lordnya tadi jatuh ke tangan Geek Farm. Dan 3 lane
Aku
push.
ingat kan dia
Lumayan sih sebenarnya untuk
dia jual-jual
bisa
badan
bertahan.
macam tu. Aku ingat kan dia nak
Cuman
timing
energi
whole
yang
ulti.
dibutuhkan, dan sekarang ada Holy Crystal untuk Xion. Ini
Tak dekat
akan
pun,
jauh
tak
lebih
tempat.
menjamin untuk Navi bisa punya damage sekarang. Jadi kalau
Eh.
Anjali memang difokuskan ada Zeon yang ada di area sana.
Iya.
Bisa banget untuk memukul balik.
Ready
Sebenarnya
tu,
nggak
tak ada
bisa
warat
semua,
pun
cuman kayak perebutan objektifnya jadi tanda tanya ya.
Aku ingat kan at least satu warat.
Traction pulse.
Pincang.
Berhasil dilompat. Meninggalkan rekannya tapi Jize. Bahkan Kars harus lejap seketika. 3 player dilompatin lagi Nazara. Bahkan untuk sekarang
Wih.
coba lihat ada satu bantingan lawan sudah dilakukan. Tapi ternyata
Wih.
Zeon masih
Padahal
memiliki satu
tak
purifier dan
mati
menyelamatkan
dia.
dirinya. Marcel tertinggal, Lord pun akan hadir.
Oke.
Berusaha untuk bisa menabrak area defensif yang dimiliki oleh Navi.
Ya masih ada only defense juga untuk langsung memukul mundur Lordnya. Tapi fokus dari Geek Fam langsung ke arah outer middle turret dan purple buff. Yang sekarang sudah mulai diambilin satu persatu.
Ya, Nazara bahkan
Nah,
punya
gitu
Winter
ya.
Crown ini akan lebih sulit untuk bisa menangkap Nazara. Yang bahkan tanpa Winter tadi belum ada point dead ya. Belum tumbang sama sekali. Dan ada Winter yang bisa menjaga diri dia sekarang.
Navi macam tak ni lah.
Ini kalau resource-nya
Macam tak tahu nak buat apa.
Kalau wave-nya kena freeze, ini gimana caranya Andorio menjaga stack?
Aku nanti doang ni lah.
Susah.
Kalau mental lah.
Pokoknya dia datang masih kecil kecil kan posisinya.
Dari tadi kalau kau tengok dia buat apa Shell?
Tentang game Gengarino.
Tapi ya sementara waktu
Yes.
lumayan leading.
Yes.
Kayak memaksimalkan dangerous grass yang terpakai.
Oke, tapi ada win notice by GoPay. Ini menjadi debut Baras di MPLIDS season 17 setelah terakhir kali digunakan 348 hari yang lalu oleh Anavel. di
Betul
saat
tuh,
season
macam
17
menunggu hari ya.
playoff saat BTR kalah atas AI. Oh itu yang Anavel Baras terus itu ya?
Iya.
Lagi
Masalahnya hero dorang pun ganas juga udah early.
2 season kan.
Hampir setahun tadi.
Oke. Untuk sekarang keadaan kembali tenang. Geekfam punya keunggulan yang cukup banyak pastinya. Vision mereka luas banget. Targeting mereka juga banyak banget pastinya.
Detonas harus dipakai tadi ya.
Aha.
Untuk menghindari tension pulse. Ada immune memang dan Daytona yang sekarang sebetulnya kalau nggak hit ke target, potong separuh. Bukan full ya.
Ya.
Ada cooldown yang bisa diselamatkan. Cuman isi jungle Navi habis nih lama-lama. Dicicil dengan Aboy.
Dicicil, dihabisin semuanya. Dan ini dia stack yang harus dipertahankan oleh Andoryu juga.
Yep.
Agak sedikit sulit pastinya. Dan kayaknya udah mulai diberikan nih legacy purple buff-nya untuk Zeon.
Yep.
Sebagai main damage dealer.
Wajib sih.
Tunggu lihat.
Biar lebih bisa nge-spam nantinya. Untuk semua skill dari Harip. Tapi Kenzie dengan Cloud-nya licin banget. Hero-hero licin yang sepertinya Navi gak bisa tangkep.
Sulit ya.
Wah itu licin semuanya kayak Guinevere gak bisa ditangkep. Cloud gak bisa ditangkep. Dan ya target mereka jelas hanya untuk main front to back sekarang untuk Navi.
Navi nekat banget loh, mereka langsung memanggil pertempuran untuk hadir di dalam area telur tersebut. Sementara sekarang beberapa pemain dimiliki oleh Geek. Mereka diusir mundur, Andoryu harus menjaga badannya agar tidak. Tapi ternyata satu sepatu Migration tadi berhasil langsung menangkap dan juga final require. Coba lihat. Double kill berhasil langsung didapatkan.
Buruk.
Di mana Zeonnya pun berhasil langsung dilakukan yang sangat cepat dan Jize. Tersisa sendiri.
Dia legit dia tak tahu nak buat apa loh.
Bener-bener susah bergerak Baratsnya. Terangkat sudah. Dan akhirnya selalu bisa melakukan retribution dari Nazara.
Yep.
Dan keadaan sekarang lagi benar-benar dikuasain oleh Geekfam.
Oke,
ini.
kesempatan.
Bro.
Game yang pertama menjadi milik dari Geekfam.
Berat.
Menit Geekfam.
Bodoh dia tak buat apa loh.
Bisa lolos ke babak playoff dengan lebih.
Legit dia tak ada buat apa-apa loh.
Parah.
Tak sebab sekarang ni nak tak nak Zuji ni yang kena buka map. Khalid ni memang tak boleh lah. So Zuji ni dia kena cari lah sebenarnya. Tapi diorang dah tahu lah ada orang kat dalam ni. Diorang memang tak tahu. Diorang dah tahu lah. Ni. Tengok barat. Oh, akhirnya sini tarik. Kena stun pula. Kena setengah lapu. Aduh. Tu tahu? Siapa punya stun? Siapa punya stun? Lapu kan sebab Kimi 15. Lawa. Ni lah. Tang. Hayya. Dua orang pula tu kena. Dari tadi benda sama je. Aduh. Hari bila realiti ya? Hari pun dah healthy for nothing. Good reset lah tu kan. Memang berbalu gila lah. Buang hati Harip macam tu je. Aduh. Tak tahu kalau nak kalah-kalah jangan kalah macam tu Nabinya. Hai.
Hero yang mungkin mungkin tebal, tapi
Ya,
susah buat
aku
ditebak.
buka dari
Kayak
dulu.
Skirmishes kan langsung nih atap kedua
Iya.
tadi. Jadi
juga.
kayak udah range-nya jauh, kita dikaitin Uranus bayangkan deh Uranus pakai Purif. Kena Kimi hilang. Bisa kalah dia.
Iya. Karena kan bisa hit terus-terusan kan.
Bisa hit
Itu kan basic
terus-terusan,
attack soalnya.
bener.
Dah.
Dan kalau Uranus oke masih bisa lompat kan kadang-kadang kan. Barat.
Iya.
Alright, so for Navi, they were looking for that.
Ano po akong gustong patunayan ganun, and yung dream ko po na makuha yung ano, yung makapag-world champ, ayun po. Kaya siguro po yun yung reason kung ba't nag-i-stay ko po.
You wanna Kalea this?
Yeah, I was thinking either Kalea or just the Gatot. Kim.
This is third or second Atlas game.
You remember? You know, although that's
You were thinking about Atlas.
final.
We were
Bicaroni, fun match oh, malas lah tengok.
Wah,
You know what? Just give it
Plan
30
aku nak tengok
seconds.
Bicaroni kak.
If he
Tapi sebabkan fun match, tak payahlah.
right. I think it's safe to say that our analyst kind of just
Whoa,
sees a
whoa, whoa.
TNC victory here.
Wait, Jackno, hold the phone, bro.
Whoa, what are you doing there?
Okay, I guess the idea was for him to just see
Sebenarnya
where three members of Twisted Minds
Lili.
are. That mid trio is going to be very important as to how
MP
the
ni dia
rotations are
masih
going to happen.
dengan-
At least he didn't use any flicker. He
dengan
didn't use anything else.
suyu
That's how we're going to start off the
memang.
first minute.
That's a nice
Ah,
field trip
really,
right
oh.
there.
Standard emblem. I also want to see if Chaktu's going to end up hacking the rapid boots still, or if he's just going to double down on picking up a tough boots. Because also him getting chain crowd control is not good. Let's see. If he builds it. Okay, still rapid boots for the Atlas. Right choice.
Oh,
wants to go for
Tracy's gonna
more.
push back, and at the same goes for MP the King, but then Shakno finally going to be using his flicker, but will not be able to escape as Twisted Minds gets first dibs on the first blood.
Really good chain there by Twisted. This is awesome teamwork. Not much you can do if you're Chakno in that scenario.
I mean, as much as possible, I feel like, you know, Twisted Minds are getting the stonks from the Selena, at least for now. So you got to give them that. They could get into a very early snowball
Yeah.
with this kind of composition. Don't forget, Sean is also
Boleh
on
buat
a
dia.
flicker, so as long as you don't get hit by any major crowd control, you should be fine. As long as you don't get focused on by Zaida, you should be fine as well.
Yeah, and plus, I did mention it, since it's paired up with a Baksha with Revitalize, there's a lot more room for error with this. Plus, stun from the shield unity of the Baksha, plus getting hit by an arrow. If they keep timing it together, it is a really disruptive combo to deal with. And since they already did have the Alice, they didn't need any more magic AoE.
Oh, look at how fast they're burning the HP of the turtle down. It's going to be going to the side of Twisted Minds easily. Shakno is going to be looking forward to the fight. 3 more pulling them right back. Now they're setting their sights on Tracy. A Terrify's going to be there as well. And then the Roamer's going to be taken down. It's finally a 1-for-1. Lansu
Badan
gets
negeri
out of
nak
that
ambil Alti aku.
situation. Twisted gets the turtle.
Alti Halis je yang ada.
TNC is looking to fight.
Yeah, good trade there, and good call for TNC to see that they could still walk away there with a kill. No clear advantage though for that kill. It's just a little trade that they wanted to take. SOD with a bit of knockback forces out the blazing duet, but here comes Shaknu.
Yo, that was pretty brave coming out of Benny Cutie. But apparently the reason why was because there were 2 other TNC Pro Team members. No, she uses Purify.
Yeah, that's how
Navi.
info to work with.
Kena
Still,
menang.
though, the Fatal Links should come back before the Purify comes back for Notion. But Zaida found Lansu alongside 3 more up top.
Oh, that's a really good way to kick things off for the jungler.
It really is. Getting into that mode, this is what I'm talking about. The moment you get focused by a Guinevere, you're probably gone. You're probably gone, especially since it's combo with a Phobius. So now, you've got more to play with here. You've shown your threat. Zaida's basically like, hey guys, you can't forget it. I'm here. Watch out, right? So I like that Zaida's still doing this, and again, that just reminding players like MP the King, players like Sean, you gotta watch your back.
Wait a minute.
Kopi ya.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but Stone
Aku rasa aku tak boleh survive lah kalau tak
copied
kopi.
the ultimate coming out of the Selena. I don't know if I got that right, but if it is true, what's the sense of it? Like, trying to make sense of the situation. What's the idea behind it? Is it just an error, or what do you go for?
You get
something
the
else.
form shift.
You should get an arrow, I think.
Yeah, because it's a form transformation.
right,
for the
right, there it
ultimate.
goes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay,
They're
okay.
getting They're getting their own arrows and traps.
At least it's going to be an extra crowd control skill for maybe a few seconds. That's going to be helping TNC with this Turtle Siege. 3, no, 4, even 5 coming out from Twisted Minds. Shatner's going to be evading that through the use of the Turtle. They're going to be bursting down the major objective quickly again. Shatner's not going to be hitting anything. So is 3mar. So it's an easy takeaway for Twisted Minds.
Yeah, and for the people probably wondering why it looked like Zyda and Chaknu needed to hesitate, or were hesitating, because they need to. You're up against an Alice, you're up against a Baksha, and then the Claude was there nearby as well, with the Moscow being at the other side of the map. It would have been way too risky to try and make it, because if ever, it was looking like Twisted Minds were ready for a fight, if ever TNC wanted to go for it, and that easily could have been a 3K, 3-for-1, or only just a 3-for-2 trade, meaning the Twisted Minds would walk away with an even bigger win.
Yeah, you don't want to get wiped out this early on in the fight.
Whoa! A flicker to a fatal link. Shots not going to be able to hit it. Instead, it's Chaknu bursted down by 4 members of Twisted Minds.
It feels like they're giving away so much and not really getting much in return as well. I don't know what
berat.
TNC,
Kalau Queen ada boleh tu.
losing steam.
Yeah, that was completely misaligned. I thought that they were doing that. I wasn't looking at the map at that time. I thought 3mar
Spanish
was
latte,
closer, but 3mar
sir.
was on the lower portion of the map.
Saya
You don't
ingat
want to
tak
do
nak.
that if the
Sebab aku ada
focus is
air
close by,
NW.
so-
So aku play malam ni macam tak payahlah kopi. Besok je lah beli kan.
You can
Oh,
only
tak
make
tak
as much
boleh je.
highlights as possible.
Baru
No
tengok
shot
satu game.
is gonna be planned
Dah
to be
mula
bursted
rasa
down
lah.
by 3mar, but 3mar stays under the turret, still safe in the middle of all 4 members. Stone's gonna be joining the party and then backs away.
All right, so they got some tricks up their sleeves still. I feel like
Anjas
TNC
A dan
still
W
is
Rubel
rocking
dengan
a
ice
lot
cream
of
turtle.
threats. So I like what I'm seeing.
NW je
But
lah.
how long can they
Script tak
keep
ada.
that up? Like, I know they're trying to buy time for Benny, but is that going to be enough? They're not really doing much against Nausea right now.
I mean, the good thing is Storm actually has a EXP and slight gold advantage for himself. So your secondary carry right now is through the Valentina. It's going to help Bridge. As long as they don't have a major deficit for him, they're going to be fine. Most importantly, Zyda decided to go for the concentrated energy first. My big question for him is if he's going to rush the Winter Crown as second item, because that would actually help TNC a lot with making more risky plays and forcing things out of Twisted Minds way too early.
There goes another Turtle Siege that will be uncontested. All 3 of those major objectives will be going to the side of the mines, but Benny Cutie has been able to burst down turret up top. Tracy probably up next. Shakno using the perfect link to actually go ahead to go with the others as well. Stun for a bit, and there goes the fatal links that will be only hitting 1 person. Stone, Lansu, zoning away Zyda as well, doing a really great job using this Alice and MP the King.
Macam
goes
tengok
for
Navi
the
main
punish. That's going to be Twisted Minds with another victory.
I was expecting an SOD to come
Kita
in,
takut
but
loh.
I think the TNC are putting a lot of value in the information of Lansu and Nausea, and if they have their ultimates or not. So
Padahal
it's a
tadi
mix
dia
of
buang Purify
hesitation,
Cloudé.
overcautiousness, but at
Modal
the same
skill 2
time,
quick je.
it's also looking at the other side of it. If they decided to take the risk, more people might get angrier. So it's a really tough call right now for each team fight for TNC. Twisted Minds are positioning really well. MP the King easily sidestepped the entry of Chaknu. He clearly saw that Chaknu was eyeing getting him, plus I believe it was Lansu or Tracy at that time with the fatal links. Twisted Minds just look ready for every engagement that TNC wants to go for.
And then speaking of those fatal links, Chaknu's been holding on to them like really long. For really long periods of time. I'm not sure what they're trying to do. Maybe just try to buy time.
Yeah.
You are showing yourself as a threat for like 2 seconds. Maybe while Benny QD is doing something else on the map. And in that last one, it was the mid lane turret.
Yeah, it's a little bit of deterrent. If you end up walking into that fatal laser, even though you didn't get initially caught, you'll still get caught. So it's just to buy a little bit more time for TNC to get into better position. After he gets his first, or sometimes maybe even no target there, it just allows him a little bit more room to work with.
Really?
Okay, so at least with Stove's Valentina, you can also just lay down traps. And actually getting a lot of info for TNC.
Yeah, and good call for Zyda to go for the Winter Crown second item. There are some Guinevere's that end up picking it for the third core item, but rushing it right away in this scenario is really good. But they have to make a play.
Yeah.
Do something.
It probably depends on Chakno. That fatal links has to be on point. Nosha has his Purify though. No conceals have been popped off just yet. The wheel coming out of Tracy is dishing some damage towards Chakno. Lansu's looking for some possible opponents upon that siege. Chakno waiting for the right time. 3Mar's going to be doing the same thing. That's going to be Tracy again, taking a bit of damage. Knockout coming from the Lord, and it's going to be Lansu taking that Lord, and it's all surrounded by the rest of the members of Twisted Minds. They've bursted 3 heroes down. Triple kill for MP the King, but then he will also suffer as a maniac. Chapno waiting for the right time. Doing the same thing. That's going to be Tracy again, taking a bit of damage. Knockout coming from the Lord, and it's going to be Lansu taking that.
After that moment, the team didn't look like they were completely in line with what they wanted to do. It looked good. The members of Twisted Minds were close by, but Zyda didn't even get his retry off. MP the King got it, despite him being the one heavily pressured by the entry of the Guinevere, the Phobius, and the Atlas. Let's look back at the instant replay of how that could have happened. Let's track Zyda. He gets knocked up. See MP the King getting pressured by Chapman. They get knocked up by the Lord Twisted. But in the Blazing Duet, they all clumped up together. They get caught in the throne of ruin. And you see why TNC have been hesitating for a lot of the previous fights.
That was maximum value Blazing Duet, bro, I gotta say.
Yep.
They swam in that one.
And now they're kind of backed into a bit of the corner here. Twisted Minds using that energy shields. That's going to be the Lord taken down. Now they set their sights on middle, but that will immediately be neutralized by TNC. The threat is not going to happen just yet, but the Minds are still looking for a potential route to at least burn down one inhibitor turret, but I don't think it's going to happen at this current wave.
It's looking like we're gonna be going into game number 3 with how things have been happening right now. Although Benny has been able to farm, he's opened up the map for the team. There were some moments where I feel like Benny should have been there with the rest of the team, at least helping down Poke. But then, again, you also play that Moskov away from team fights and you just come in with the SOD. Yes, for most scenarios, but TNC doesn't have that reliable source of poke for them. Their poke is all in. If Phobius wants to poke, if Guinevere wants to poke, you get close to the action. If Stone wants to poke, you put yourself at risk getting set up and stunned by the rest of the Twisted Minds lineup. So maybe a little bit of change for the requirements of Benny, adding him towards the moments where they need the slow chip away of health first would be good for them.
Yeah, I would love to see that, right? And I think they're just leaning to their win condition anyway. Right now, the win condition for Twisted, I feel like they've already hit a bit of a power spike, especially since their lineup has that Selena. So they should finish soon, because I don't see this going well for them the longer the game goes on. Like maybe at 20 minutes, I don't see a Selena just having the same impact.
Yeah, from the looks of it, it feels like the deny of that backshot coming out from the drafted Twisted Minds really came in handy, because it was just so telegraphed. They knew that they needed something. They knew that they needed the durability, and in spite of them going inside, it would have been no problem. But now, with the Lord spawn, Tracy is leading the charge in this Lord pit.
Dawn's been fantastic as well with the checks. Again, he's supplemented by a really strong front line, but you also can't discredit that he's kept his deaths at a minimum. He's gotten vision, and even if that Abyssal arrow hits point blank, it is just a little bit more of extra delay that allows Tracy and Lansu to be able to get even more stunts and more impact in.
And they're just very willing to reset this Lord every single time. They've noticed that Benny is already up top, so the siege is probably going to be starting. Chakno is going to be bursted down first. Zyda might come up next. He is there. Look at He turns garbage into treasure, making the most out of it. Losing Noja.
Kalau dia dapat suyu sekali tadi kau mah.
Almost by the skin of the Lord's hair. And still, Twisted Minds was able to get it, and maybe even more. 3 for the price of 1.
Oh, that
Green would have kept that. Depending on what skin you're using, but right now it does feel like an unstoppable barrage here, walking up on top for Twisted. I wonder if they can make use of this.
Yeah, I think this is where Ben Cuty's services are going to be coming in handy late into this game. 14 minutes in, they're going to be able to burst down this Lord, no problem. Looking at the next wave at mid. It's Twisted Minds also confused. They're probably just waiting for the right time to actually strike because they still have another wave coming up top. Tracy kind of fighting a little bit more than he could chew, but here comes the other members with a throw and the blazing duet as well. Right at the back, Thimar's gonna be dished out with some damage, and Betty Cutie still fighting. But the problem is, the inhibitor, it's gone.
Can't the rest of TNC need
In and look at Benny. They
passive.
Can't they split? It's all about him.
Ending him immediately. Oh, what a blow. Benny, they need the avatar. They need you to handle
Gets
those,
healed.
and Benny Cutie down, and it's Twisted Minds finding him immediately. Oh, what a blunder coming out from TNC. Now 2 is down. Shakno and Stone desperately trying to defend the middle turret, but it's because of the fact that Betty stepped too soon. Now it's Zaida looking to delay what could possibly be the inevitable, but Twisted Minds are looking for him up next. Tracy using the wheels to find him, guiding his way back to Lansu, even following him next. And this is just a difficult route. Zaida's gonna stay safe, but for how long?
I'm not sure, man. But 100% is sure. It's gonna be a lot of a hard fight.
Can he actually make
Kalau ada Barca tu, men.
as an outplay, but apparently not. Because Zaida's gonna come down.
Kalau ada Barca tu. Cuci.
Leads 9K.
Very decided to call it this Baksha for Tracy, paired up with this Alice.
Oh, this is going to be another 4v5 situation. Tracy still has the immortality. He would still have another extra life to actually go for the initiation, but the Lord is going to be there again. And then the rest of the members trying to look for Benny Cutie, but instead it's going to be other things that are happening around the map as MP the King is going to be popping off the immortality. Chaknu goes for it again, but then the Throne of Ruin, the Blazing Duet is probably going to be finishing all of them off, but Benny Cutie's still fighting, looking to clear some minion waves, but Twisted Minds are locking, loading, getting into game number 3. Kimi lagi.
Ya, Kimi ada, Eve juga ada.
Tapi kayaknya Cloud masih oke. Cloud lampu lagi.
Oke, Cloud dulu kali ya.
Iya, ambil Cloudnya dan siapapun lah.
Tapi
Cloud kali ya.
tadi Cloud aja adanya
Tapi
di
tadi
last pick
Cloud
loh.
terakhir loh.
Iya.
Last pick nggak diambil juga kayak
Nggak di atas ya. Ini dia.
Naik ya.
Dan juga Suyo ternyata. Naik kelasnya. Karena kira dia mau kayak misal Cloud Guard gitu.
Bisa.
Iya.
Punya line up Asian game.
Oke, back to basic ya.
Aku tak tahu line up siapa.
Dan ini dia untuk bandnya nih yang bakal berbeda untuk
lagi
second band phase.
Aduh.
Mid laner.
Kalau ya
Aboy.
khusus ya.
Gore.
Bisa.
Yep.
Eve.
Bisa.
Bisa.
Bahkan yang buat susah ini Gigi ini suka bawa Faramis.
Iya.
Bisa juga itu.
Ya, nggak selalu
Jap
melulu
aku sen
kayak harus
kadisi.
ada follow up-nya kali ya. Kan
Iya
kayak
bener. Dia follow up defense
Tengok
aja
gambar, tapi aku tak tahu siapa first
bisa.
line up.
Oke.
Oke, band dari Gig bisa persempit lagi opsi ke arah ROM atau EXP.
Pakito.
Contohnya Pak Khalid gimana?
Pakito sih.
Pakito ya?
Iya.
Pakito
tuh Uranus.
Pakito Uranus buat follow EXP. Kalau emang concernnya ke arah ROM-nya mungkin Khalid bisa di-ban.
Iya.
Satu dulu je.
ada
Masa gambar aku tengok tu ramai gila je.
Kalau Afro juga ada badang ya sebenarnya ya.
Betul, betul.
Kau nak Chibizon kan haha.
Kayak Uranus ya. Uranus. Uranus Purify yang bisa makan resource pastinya. Mid lane lagi kah yang akan dipersempit oleh Navi? Mungkin tadi contohnya Kimi bisa ditutup
Coach 3 orang. Oh.
atau
Iya tadi Kimi ngerepotin banget ya.
iya. Banyak lah ya opsinya juga. Hero dari Marcel juga belum kelihatan nih mau mengarah kemana.
Iya.
Sora kan?
Sora sih.
Iya ya.
Kayaknya Sora itu oke. Apalagi buat tangkap Susin di belakang. Kalau dia lagi lompat, kejar aja pakai Heaven's Friend. Di-ban.
di-ban.
Di-ban. Oke. Kita keluarkan Sora ya.
Ya, bye Sora.
Bye Sora.
Oke, Pakito kah?
Atau Arlot.
Pakito, Arlot, Khalid gitu.
Khalid. Ini duel Pakito Arlot mungkin di samping.
Bisa jadi. Tapi kayaknya lebih safe Arlot gak sih Om?
Iya.
Ya kayak Pakito lumayan hit or miss soalnya. Oke, tapi untuk pick 4 dari Navi, EXP mau EXP
Tadi
balik
live tak? Game 1 live
Atau
ah.
mau buka ROM-nya dulu sekarang. Bisa
What do you
ambil
mean?
Gatot. Buat bisa melakukan counter initiate.
Oke, dan Gatot.
Enggak tuh.
Nah ini dia sekarang. Mau ke Pakito
Kayaknya Arlot lebih oke ya.
atau Arlot ya.
Atau lapu-lapu aja.
Tapi mereka butuh yang tebal sebenarnya.
Teris lah.
Teris lah ya. Mereka butuh yang tebal. Kayak udah ada Cloud dan Suyo ya.
Atau lapu.
Sini Lapu nih.
Bisa. Dan juga mid-nya masih banyak opsi nih buat Aboy.
Yang terpilih je boleh nampak Rino
Lilia.
live jam
Lilia boleh
7.45.
banget ini kan.
Iya.
Atau Aboy keluar dengan hero lamanya lagi.
Lunox Kimi, Lilia,
Lilia
Lunox
lah,
Kimi,
Teris Lilia.
Cap, Cip, Cup,
Teris Lilia.
Kembang,
Cup.
Kuncup,
Langsung.
Lunox
Live dari
Kimi,
MPLMY.
Lilia, Dicup.
Nice try.
Langsung.
Dan Lilia.
Lilia. Dan pick terakhir.
Lilia.
Navi.
Oke.
Kalau bicara soal early damage-nya
Geng
masih ya
saja.
sekarang ya. Dipegang dengan Gig juga.
Tapi Lilia memang boleh lawan
Pagi
Sujina.
itu,
Woi,
pagi
pagi
itu,
itu,
Kas.
bro.
Wow, ini match point soalnya buat Geng Fam.
Yep.
Satu kemenangan yang mereka butuhkan. Atau Navi akan membuka
Tetap
kesempatan
guys,
lebih
yes
besar
sir, terima
untuk
kasih.
menyamakan kedudukan terlebih dahulu.
Yep. Ingat ya, siapapun yang menang mau skornya 2-0, 2-1 pasti akan main di babak playoff.
Yep.
Loh,
Hanya
tak
semacam
boleh tak dia
kata
atas.
Rino.
Akhirkah? Atau kita
udah.
akan berangkat menuju ke game
Iya.
yang ketiga.
Wow,
Oke, masih.
bisa juga ya. Dan kalau melihat dari barisan draft mungkin yang sedang kita lihat, mungkin bisa ada damage di early karena ada Pakito sekarang.
Yep.
Tapi tergantung di Pakito.
Baju
Udah.
terasa mana dari
Hey.
Rino.
Apa ya?
Ini dia, sesaat lagi pembuktian. Gig menang, Gig akan ke playoff. Navi menang, kita akan lanjut ke game yang ketiga. Jadi langsung saja MPL Arena, mana suaranya?
Wah, ini dia. Match point ya yang dibutuhkan juga. Ini pastinya akan ada pressure yang harus dihadapi. Mengingat kalau Navi kepleset ini adalah kesempatan terakhir mereka juga.
Yep. Dan
Buset.
menurutku cukup sayang ya kalau sampai Navi kepleset.
Iya.
Karena mereka sudah berjuang sampai dengan sejauh itu. Nih ya, let's see untuk hasil akhirnya seperti apa juga.
Tapi Gig juga tidak ingin ini Om, terus-terusan mereka di dalam belenggu kekalahan kan.
Bener.
Ya berarti di saat kalau emang mereka menang di sini ya mereka bangkit di waktu yang sangat-sangat tepat gitu.
Yep.
Aduh.
Oke. Pelan-pelan, tapi Baloy agresif.
Oke. Web. Ditampol lagi.
Diganggu ya, tapi cukup untuk bisa memberikan poke damage satu sama lain, tapi 1v1 yang dimana clear-nya lebih cepat ya.
Yep.
Dari Kars sehingga EXP-nya lebih unggul.
Ya, Sionnya ya. Karena nggak bisa nge-regen akhirnya untuk Sion. Jadi terkadang ya kalau kita harit dipaksakan untuk recall kembali.
Ya.
Atau kalau nggak main dengan half HP seperti ini.
Nah, oke. Tapi ini dia untuk set talent emblem-nya juga yang sudah kita lihat. Leomord
Buset.
dengan emblem assassin ya.
Enak
Ya,
banget.
beda ya, ada yang pakai emblem marksman juga. Emblem assassin Swift bawahnya. Dengan juga killing spree.
Oke. Dan kali ini...
Bentar aku belum MM enggak?
Oke. Karena Pro pun sudah hadir. Bahkan bersama dengan Jize. Tapi damage yang mereka miliki masih belum cukup.
Yap. Belum ada first blood yang terjadi ya. Hanya memberikan cicilan saja. Tapi Turtle sekarang sudah muncul dan sudah mulai ditarik nih. Dicicil juga oleh Gifam.
Untuk sementara sebenarnya Navi punya damage karena ada Kars dengan full stack di sana. Double jab akan sangat menyakitkan apalagi kalau hitnya menuju ke Aboy. Teman Aboy punya Black Shoes juga jadi itu sangat aman untuk dia sekarang.
Yap. Tapi Baloy kali ini udah level 4. Baloy siap membanting.
Urgensi.
Untuk pertempuran di Turtle yang pertama dan sepertinya Navi akan melepaskan Turtle tersebut.
Ya. Wow.
Coba lihat, maju sampai ke belakang. Dan ada satu bantingan yang terjadi. Dan mendadak Kars tadi mengatakan dia pecah pula. Mereka melakukan sebuah pertempuran di dalam area dari Orange Pub yang dimiliki oleh pemain-pemain dari Navi. Dan sekarang Crimson Beacon sudah dikeluarkan dan tidak ada yang tumbang.
Yap, tidak ada bayaran yang bisa dilakukan oleh Navi ya setelah mereka merelakan Turtle-nya. Ya walaupun sebenarnya keadaan dari segi goldnya masih cukup imbang.
Yap. Sangat damai sekali ya sepertinya. Tapi Tapi turtle pertama nih untuk Gig juga. Di bagian atasnya sebenarnya Kars punya damage yang lumayan berasa nih dengan satu Fury Hammer tadi. Plus Warrior Boots yang baru selesai.
Iya.
Dan bahkan menang mobilitas kan kalau untuk Pakito.
Yap. Oke. Dan kali ini masih cukup aman ya untuk pattern satu sama lain ya Om.
Belum terlalu terganggu juga. Wah, tapi sebenarnya untuk lambat launnya Navi punya hero-hero yang memang bisa menabrak ke depannya.
Oke.
Pakito, Leo, dan juga ada Zeon nanti kalau join.
Alright.
Warning.
Ya kali ini unggul level untuk Kenzie-nya juga. Wop, tapi Kars.
Awas.
Oke, ada satu matikan. Maka untuk sekarang coba lihat Kars yang berjuang sendirian. Kars!
Keras kan tuh.
Ya digeprak ya. Oke,
Keras loh.
dan bahkan coba untuk dibalikin.
Yap, under you, balik badan langsung.
Ya, tidak bisa ya sepertinya. Memilih untuk mundur. Lebih hati-hati lagi kali ini untuk Navi. Dan ya itu dia targeting dan Karsnya juga udah buang flicker.
Oke, Paloiski sangat-sangat memberikan ancaman kemanapun dia pergi.
Wah, ini dia. Satu lagi sosok Kalea yang kita biasa ngelihat juga benar-benar di ban dan sekarang di Prayo dan ini dia impact.
Kalau first skill tuh unlimited mesti hidup
tadi memang berhasil untuk menciptakan sebuah poin first blood juga untuk Gigfam. Karena targeting dia memang sangat tepat adalah bagaimana cara biar Karsnya juga nih cukup sulit mengumpulkan item.
Oke. Ada selesai dengan Starlium bagi Zeon. Turtle tapi udah terlihat juga. Ya ini masih bakal menjadi fight yang cukup panjang ya untuk 1v1 seperti ini ya. Masih di landing phase-nya juga. Tapi ini dia Turtle-nya sudah di setup.
Yep, ini deh. Expanding River, akankah masing-masing gold laner bergerak menuju ke area dari Turtle? Karena kalau kita lihat dari minimapnya sudah terlihat dan Kenzie masih menahan di area bawah.
Iya. Kayak biasa ya, kayaknya mau
plating aja ya?
Iya, kalaupun dapetin turtle-nya dari Navi, mereka mau cari trade.
Yap, dan sekarang turtle-nya akan langsung dikuasain oleh pemain dari Navi dan mereka berhasil. Pergerakan dari Zeon akankah cepat kembali menuju ke area bawah dan
3 minggu.
gagal kayaknya untuk bisa mempertahankan ke arah satu altar tersebut, tapi Marcel Whip masih berhasil
At
untuk
least
dia.
3 weeks.
Tapi sekarang Zeon sendirian saja. Zaman Force langsung di pop up. Mencoba untuk bisa memberikan sebuah serangan balik. Tapi barusan ada satu Amatram Guardian gak konek ke arah siapapun.
Iya, dan juga ternyata flicker yang dikeluarkan untuk Baloy ya menangkap Karajize. Tsunami Slam-nya bisa dihindari dengan Purify.
Ya, Purify save the day ya masih.
Ya.
Ya, memang timpanya masih cukup panjang juga Justice Pauldron untuk Marcel. First item. Bukan War X ya. Oke, langsung ke Justice Pauldron juga menambah mungkin daya dia untuk bisa melakukan defense nanti. Nasara Hunter dan Pakito dari Kars ini mengincar untuk item damage.
Oke.
Yep.
Dan kira-kira ini Nazara Sky Pierce gak?
Harusnya iya sih.
Bisa ya?
Harusnya iya.
Yap. Oke, Nazara harus mundur terlebih dahulu. Oke.
Oke ya bro. Mau dibanting enggak ya?
Enggak ya. Follow up damage-nya kayaknya masih minim banget. Kalau buat nangkep ke arah Afro sekarang. Cicilan dari Aboy, lihat buat dari Gize pun harus mundur.
Ya, Hero jalan ya.
Iya.
Kalau kena Angry Gloom bakal sakit banget juga. Tapi Kars sudah mulai melakukan pepotongan dari minion yang ada di bagian atas.
Oke. Udah mulai bisa menangin jalannya juga untuk Kars. Bisa join the fight.
Dari bagian bawah sepertinya sudah 1v1 situation. Blazing Duet tadi sudah diperlihatkan.
Ya. Ini tegang banget pastinya ya, karena semuanya benar-benar bermain sangat hati-hati.
Ya, kepleset dikit kan bisa hilang semua ya.
Iya.
Hilang tiket tuh yang paling mahal.
Bener.
Ya, dan lagi-lagi Kars akan memotong nih. Tuh minion bagian bawah. Double jab.
Oke.
Oh.
Ada dua player dan Kars. What happened? Karsnya berusaha untuk bisa membaik time, tapi satu bola tadi tidak cukup. Bahkan tuh sekarang coba lihat
kalian. Kalian flicker dia bodoh.
Tapi setidaknya itu tadi memberikan sedikit waktu untuk bisa rekan-rekannya mendekati area dari Lord. Dan sekarang kuda Barbie langsung dipanggil begitu saja. Dan Zeonnya dengan Zaman Force yang udah langsung dikeluarkan guna untuk bisa mengantarkan dia bisa begitu banyak masuk ke dalam tubuh pemain dimiliki oleh Gig. Di mana mereka mendapatkan karena Marcel Avatar Guardian. Gak konek karena siapapun.
Wah itu dia ya, sebuah sacrifice yang dilakukan oleh Kars.
Sampai padam suyunya.
Yang akhirnya ngebuat dari Navi punya
Memang
space yang
gitu
lebih
lah
banyak.
cara ini kalau kau nak lawan hero pick off tapi kau tak nak bawa Purify ya itu aja dia.
Dan untungnya tuh Pakito juga tadi kan.
Kau memang
yang
kena
membuat
apa?
Nasara gak bisa untung.
Pre-flicker.
Di turtle-nya, karena dia sekarat tadi.
Iya.
Karena double jab juga.
Oh, Andoryu.
Iya dia pulang.
Pulang aja ya. Wah ada yang dipotong.
Waduh,
Baloy.
malah ketemu sama Baloy nih. Dan flicker sudah terlihat. Baloy Bisakah dia bertahan? Sedikit lagi yang tersisa.
Woi.
Dan boleh menjadi korban dari Andori, tapi Andorinya terjebak.
Hidup
Untuk
dia.
Kenzie,
How?
damage-nya masih belum cukup.
Yap, masih belum
How?
cukup pastinya untuk di menit ke-8, tapi tabrakan terjadi menuju ke arah satu buah outer middle turret yang masih bisa dipertahankan juga. Tapi 2.700 sekarang Gold dipimpin sama Navi.
Iya, mereka sudah mulai pegang, ditabrak terus-terusan Geek. Ini kayaknya lumayan bingung nih ya, karena untuk Navi ada ulti,
Pistol gila saya
ada ulti,
kait tuh.
tabrak.
Oke, dan Zeon Zaman Force langsung dibentangkan saja, mereka berusaha untuk bisa mendapatkan mid turret. Harus diusir lagi.
Ya, clear-nya masih cepat juga ya, ada Aboy di sana Om.
Cuman ya ini dia yang nggak cepat sebenarnya bagaimana cara untuk bisa membuat permainan Navi sedikit lebih pelan. Karena dari tadi memang Geek-nya ini lumayan kepancing ya, dimana mereka berusaha untuk dapat
Alsa aku tak relate, oke.
ternyata ada objektif yang sedang dijalankan
Iya, game-game kecurinya banyak soalnya. Turtle-nya, turret-nya, dan belum ada bayaran yang setimpal gitu loh yang bisa didapetin sama
Tadi
Geek
kata
Fam
lega dah.
untuk sejauh ini.
dia tak lama tu efek dia.
Sama-sama impact juga Om.
Ya, tapi 3.000.
Ubat
Efek
guna
dia
berimpact
macam
lah.
Ya, objektif nih yang bisa didapat.
setengah jam ke.
It's time Rino ambil secubit garam.
Karena Nazara ini akan bisa masuk dengan tenang juga karena untuk setupnya itu Pakito di bawah
Waduh.
akan bisa mengagetkan lawannya loh. Saya
It's time I think.
Jadi penetration dapat banget. Oh itu di bawah.
Oke,
meleset.
tapi Kenzie, BMI mundur.
Saya deg-degan jujur, tapi ini dia untuk Lord yang sudah mulai dicicil.
Abro
Garam
pede banget tadi
Himalaya.
masuk dalam rumputan sekarang Kars. Sudah join ke dalam pertempuran. Siapa lagi
Online
pemilik dari luar
kan,
ini?
let's
Karena untuk
go.
sekarang udah Barbel udah langsung dipanggil. Apronya menahan ke arah dari Nazara. Tapi
Gila.
luar menjadi milik dari Aboy. Nazara down. Bahkan untuk sekarang coba lihat Marcel. Jadi korban yang kedua. Lord memang dimiliki oleh King Pam. Tapi quantity mereka dihabiskan.
Yap, itu dia. Karena Nazaranya dari tadi juga dipegangin sama Afro, tapi lihat. Gize.
Coba lihat Jize. Berusaha mengusir. Berusaha mendapatkan tapi gagal.
Oke, bottom lane udah mulai dipegang sama Kars. Topnya memang dibiarkan juga, tapi Lord yang didapetin sama Geek Fam ini tidak akan menjadi hal yang bisa dimaksimalkan sama Geek Fam Om.
Iya, tapi atasnya ada pertukaran ya.
Ya.
Lihat Kenzie-nya sudah mulai nyicil juga untuk mengambil Taras di bagian top. Nge-rap dia.
Oke.
Cancel.
Oh no.
Gagal, ketahuan Kenzie. Ada BMI.
Oh no.
Akankah backupan untuk bisa mendapatkan Kenzie? Akan semakin cepat Patro Guardian. Berhasil mendapatkan tapi begitu menyakitkan dan membuat Zize hampir saja menghilang.
Hampir.
Tidak untuk waktu yang lama, Kenzie down.
Iya. Kenzie-nya memang yang mencoba untuk bertahan sekuat tenaga ya, semampu
Counter
mungkin.
strike.
Oke,
Pistol
ada
brute
TPD
force ah.
dilakukan cuman ya tidak berhasil juga untuk dimaksimalkan oleh Kars, tapi ini dia raut dari kedua belah coach. Yang pasti tegang banget di belakang.
Jelas. Mungkin untuk Geek terutama ya, karena mereka sudah leading di game yang pertama.
Ya.
Oke, lagi tertinggal dulu sementara waktu dan Navi membuka peluang untuk bisa menang juga. Setup mereka dari trapping mereka kalau memang rapi ini Pakito dari Kars bisa dapetin satu korban.
Iya, dan terutama untuk lane jauh ya Kenziski ya.
Iya.
Selama Kenziski-nya belum purify, Win of Nature, aman.
Iya. Double jab itu musuh utama buat si Cloud sebenarnya.
Iya, bisa instan ya.
Bisa instant banget ya. Atau karena knockout juga gak bisa BMI nanti.
Oke, tabrakan mulai terjadi.
Ya benar apa Patro Guardian. Korek tadi tapi sepertinya Marcel mencoba untuk bisa membalaskan keadaannya saat sekarang Aboy pun langsung meregang jawab. Baloy menjadi makanan untuk
Mati
Jize.
dua gatot ni.
Double kill.
Ya, Sky Pierce ya yang menyala pastinya.
Menyala.
Ya, kali ini bot lane-nya masih bisa ditahan harusnya, tapi
Ya.
tekanan
Aku
demi tekanan sekarang.
lawan
harus diterima
MLBB17.
oleh Geek
Gatot
Fam.
lagi
Wah,
berfaedah
ini dikasih ampun sih harusnya.
dari high loss.
Oke, dan Zeon sudah parkir menuju area defensif yang dimiliki oleh King itu sendiri. Akankah mereka menyamakan kedudukan di waktu 12 menit ini? Karena di bagian bawah coba lihat. Satu base turretnya berhasil dirubuhkan pula.
Oke, di menit 12,
Sebab kan
base
basic tu.
berhasil dikantongi oleh Navi.
Tak
dan
pressure.
langsung menjauh ke angka
Jauh lebih
7.500
sustain aku.
gold yang mereka pegang
Murah-murah.
Ya, sangat sulit
Kalau
sebenarnya.
high loss, kau kena buka
Apalagi
ulti yo.
tabrak-tabrak dari Navi nih. Yang sekarang terlihat sangat efisien
Problem
sekali.
dia kalau
Dua
buka ulti tu
serangan
masuk
lagi,
orang tak bola,
juga
wasted
gold.
lah kan.
Ini berjalan dengan sesuai
Tapi kalau
rencana.
Gatot,
bahkan
dia tumbuk je balik dia.
Sky Pierce ada di tangan Jize juga.
Oke.
Oh, ini gold EXP-nya sih sakit nih.
Iya.
Damager semua ya. Ini kembali lagi ini hampir terulang mungkin game pertama yang dirasakan oleh Navi. Sekarang dirasakan oleh Geek.
Benar. Oke, dan sekarang Lord Oh, bakal coba untuk langsung ditarik.
Gatot lagi
Yep.
suka kena hit.
Kemudian bisa what? Kenzie down. Apa tahu Guardian? Tapi tadi Marcelnya tertinggal.
Okay, game 2. Let's game 2 pula. Game
Kemungkinan
3, let's
besar
go.
kita akan berangkat menuju ke game yang ketiga kak, karena untuk sekarang mereka masih ingin lebih. Mereka berusaha untuk bisa memenangkan di game yang kedua ini. Kembali skinya down.
Aku nak tengok dua statistik kali Lilia ni. Aku rasa banyak kalah dia menang oh. Tidak ke men?
Navi!
Aku rasa most of the time kita tengok kali Lilia ni kan.
Kesempatan mereka jadi lebih
Memang
besar.
berat oh game ni.
Game terakhir yang akan benar.
That maniac secured by...
The matter at hand would be the first major objectives, which are the 3 turtles. That's where this Uranus is going to be coming into play.
True. Uranus could be fun, but we do have, by the way, with the
Depending on what the... No, it's all good, bro. What is he gonna end up picking?
it looks fired up.
They're going to try to get... Dude. Come on, man. It's...
Yeah, I was... That could...
That's his first. You were kidding.
Okay, what? Tadi aku tengok game 2 ke? Oh? Oh, tadi aku tengok game 2 je ke? Masalah.
The sign...
Very different. Lapu-lapu, but those...
Either way.
Board. I mean, honestly, I was looking for a little bit more crowd control. Actually,
You know, just
Zaida.
TNC.
Yeah, at least they...
All right, we're loading up in last lap.
I wonder if anyone in this game is actually going to be packing a Sky Piercer. I don't think so. Maybe MP the King is going to be your best chance at that. But then will anyone at TNC pack a Sky Piercer? Or are they just going to rely on the raw damage burst that Zaida has? Let's see. One of the things you have to consider also is that Nausea is going to be diving into a lineup that is great and very happy with you coming close to them.
Oh, that's true.
He's going to be, putting himself in a lot of danger with every Blazing Duet entry.
That is true, and if you do that, there's also a very good chance that Chaknu is just gonna stick to you like glue.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot more, crowd control you have to deal with either way. So, you know what? It's mostly about risk management here. When you think about it.
Honestly, I feel like not a lot of fights are going to be happening in this first 2 minutes, except when both of everybody's heroes reach level 4. So far, it's just Stome and Tracy, checking each other out. Not really much happening. That should be expected in this first minute.
Yeah, even if they do fight, it's gonna be like two skinny, kids fighting in a schoolyard, just slapping at each other. They're going to be able to regen anyway, so waiting for those level 4s for sure. And I'm also waiting for Zaida. Like, what's the route that he's going to try to go for here? I love that Renmore brought that up. Sky Piercer on this could be make or break. Maybe you can just go for, like, a really good Hunter Strike first. I haven't really seen that many Nolan games recently, so
yeah,
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Top side, I believe... I couldn't tell if that went to 3-Mar to Lansu for the crowd, but they're both neck and neck in terms of their EXP, so both teams are just going to be rotating for their EXP laners to try and hit level 4.
Hold on. 3-Mar immediately had to handle the axe that was brought about. It's going to be Tracy this time, looking to confuse Stone, but an ultimate coming out from Zaida will not be enough as Tracy safely gets himself across. Turtle's going to be reset. Shakno still not a level 4. But they will try to continue with the siege. Lansu's going to be taking a breath of damage. And TNC Pro Team will try to ace this inside against the first turtle. But the same could be said probably for Lansu's life as he is now being surrounded by the split. But it's a little too much for Chaknu to handle. He had to flicker away, but there's no other way to escape. It's Twisted Minds taking the first blood.
Great patience and outplay there by Twisted.
And INC.
Oh, wait, what? I think he expected that Lansu would go straight back home.
And that is a crucial mistake. At least Lansu was taken down, but again, these are some of the errors that shouldn't be happening in the first place.
Yeah, I think you could also see heading into that first turtle, once Lansu brought down the axe and once Tracy decided to take that turn against the Valentina, that he knew that Twisted Minds wouldn't be able to win the turtle. They decided to play for the heroes instead after TNC secured it through Zyda. Good for them, they were able to take that and they still walked away with the extended sequence through topside with 2 kills.
Yeah, and very good presence of mind for Zyda to be able to pick that up. You know, they traded, but I think it was a little bit more on the favor of TNC because the goal in the XP went to the Nolan. It went to the jungle. He's going to have more use for that and maybe control this mid-game tempo, right? So if they control this mid-game tempo, this mid-trio will stay relevant for longer, which we will definitely see here. Got Chaknu feeling a lot more confident to make some frontline plays.
Yeah. Whoa. This is the type of things that will happen. 3mar misses on that one. Instead of shifting skies, even will not be hitting Tracy. Has been surrounded by the Phoenix army. The fire burns down for the roamer. That's going to be 1 down, increasing to 1.3k, and that's going to be the end of the fight.
Yeah, the difficult thing about playing a Cho into the glue, and with all of the bursts and those little crowd control that TNC can dish out, as if you miss a Jeet Kondo, if you don't have your flicker out, you're most likely gonna go down unless the team is willing to trade. Dreadnought armor, the priority for the Cho. It looks like it is gonna be Skypiercer Rush after the Fury Hammer for MP the King, while it's Blade of Heptasis for Zyda's Nolan. 2 kills already on the docket for him. Stone and Sean get their glowing wands at almost the exact same time.
All right, so we've got a little bit more even on the firepower, and so it seems maybe TNC's got a little bit of upper hand.
Way of the dragon. Same goes for Mystic.
Chaknu's
still gonna stay alive. It's gonna be TNC now actually going with a counter attack, and Tracy goes down. But Chaknu's gonna be suffering the same fate. Lansu taking the brunt of the punch of the clouds. TNC has forced them countless times, and they want to go for Sean even more. Benny Cutie from way downtown, dashing through in.
I didn't expect Benny Cutie to dive that tower. Good for him on taking that risk. And of course, Twisted Minds just felt what
Patrick even
the face of death. And of course, that is what happens when a team that has the glue gets that early advantage. They're pushing it even further here.
Oh, and
down boss.
Patrick even pissing you off even more. Tracy has nowhere to go. He suffers at the hands of the Mamba. Even 3mar's pushing down right at the bottom, and then Betty Cutie, laser focused, was Sean and being able to take him down.
Barely any movement speed, won't get away. But it's still a really difficult game for a Cho pickup. So I'm not gonna hate on the pick, it's just that I think that was the hand that they were dealt with. They couldn't go for anything crazy like an Atlas because there's a Valentina on the other side. Can't go Grok because there's a Valentina on the other side.
Yeah, I feel like the Way of the Dragon is like the lesser of all evils here.
Yeah.
For that pick, but it is giving them a lot of disadvantages, especially with a glue up front. The Cho can't really do much against it. I think that's one of the biggest, you know, red alarm, or what do we call that? Alarm bells are ringing in my head. When I see a Cho, I see a glue, I'm thinking, this Cho's not gonna have a fun time.
Yeah, that's a code red, if I'm not mistaken. TNC Pro Team. Also, I've kind of noticed Stone didn't really have much usage of the IMU, but he's using Clarifies to the best of its abilities. Now he has copied the Way of the Dragon. So these are a total of 3 forms of initiation that Twisted Minds needs to worry about upon that next turtle that is about to spawn right now.
Yeah, it's actually the better choice than the Mystic Gush at this point. Extra layer of protection for yourself, while you can also be another extra layer of setup. You already have a lot of good crowd control, and Twisted Minds wouldn't even be able to get close at this turtle. It's a free take for TNC.
And these are one of those games I think Hans was talking about, that he swears this should be a TNC game. And now again, we have seen this over and over again this season. A lead like this, turn around, TNC fails to finish. Let's see if they can keep it up here.
Langsung saja playoff,
there is still
okay?
a lot of threat, right? There is still a Tracy threat. We've seen how scary he can shot call through the mess. And the potential of this kid right now can make stuff happen.
Yeah, I mean, I know a Tracy that scored 13 points in 30 seconds. What can this Tracy not do, right? It is a definite possibility, but that has to be on point. No. Just like that kick that happened right over there as 3mar is going to be burned down to the dust. An immediate pickoff that was needed by the Mines. And that's going to be the calm before the storm.
Absolutely not caster cursed, right? Absolutely not.
I guess so.
I don't know. It's manifesting, as the kids say these days. I also really like when I see a Gord clearly not completely ready for the surprise initiation, and they slowly just move the Mystic Gush to where the guy who got crowd controlled is. Alishan ended up, was he able to get the swing it there in time to get the assist? Because he's still at 4, maybe not, but still, that's where Twisted Minds can build through the pickoffs, layer after layer. You will most likely not be able to take TNC on a full fight. If they can just send Tracy out, -1, go back. Oh, no, Sha.
Oh, no, Sha. Just have to use some lazy do out of danger, but also out of ultimates.
Yeah. Those are the moments where I say, you know what? Do not keep your eyes off Zyda. Zyda has been the most key players in TNC for the longest time. If you slip up, you will regret it.
On the other hand, it's just Shaknu and 3mar always at the front lines before any sort of shenanigans happen in terms of that Lord and major objective pits. But so far, Zyda and MP the King should just be securing their objectives before the start of the Lord.
Yeah, 3mar already has to chastise Pauldron, the only one for the team. Shaknu had to go for the Radiant Armor here, and only has to steal Life Blades and the belt.
Hey! They're choosing the tanky members as of the moment, but Shaknu's willing to fight. He's going to be pushing Tracy back, and same could be said for 3mar with the shifting skies towards MP. It's Tracy down again. 5 full men for TNC Pro Team, and it seems like Twisted Minds are just going to back away. They're surrendering the Lord of the Phoenix Army.
Well, at that point, you just needed to make the call and accept the fact that if you can't get the pick off, then you can't get the pick off. Just back off. But Twisted Minds got to minimize their losses, and
nak tengok minggu yang ni, tapi nak tengok yang match yang matter. Sebab dia ada fun match juga.
But they will have to deal with a Lord push, and this could be a big one for TNC. No base turrets should fall, but maybe one of the outer turrets will.
Yeah, this is still really excellent
inner turrets
for TNC. Obviously, the inner turrets are going to be probably knocked in as well by this big wave, especially while they're dealing with the Lord up top. So more gold, expect more gold for TNC here. Should be a bit more difficult to repel. Look at Tracy's positioning on the map right now. Just so risque.
So rounded as well, because Zyda's going to be over there. But Tracy will evade that bit of a split. Zyda's going to deal the damage. And another Roamer goes down.
Benda tu.
For Tracy.
Sakit ya.
Might be a turnover if you ask me, but TNC holding on to a 4K goal lead.
Yeah, this is why after that draft, I was already thinking that, okay, yeah, numbers look good for Twisted, but TNC should have this in the bank. It looks so much better for them. It's tough for them to get a good formation in. It's tough for them to posture. And TNC, they know the advantages. Gotta credit them for continually playing into it.
Oh, they're going to go for a fast break here.
They're going to go for it, but Stone being dished with a Mystic Gush. Lansu at the back's going to be able to take him down, but then the burst continues. Blazy Duet's going to be used at the same time. Nosha being the savior, dishing damage to Shaknu, but Benny Cutie's also doing the same to Tracy. And MP the King as well. Benny's dancing with everybody. You see him. The intensity from the fighter among all. TNC 6K goal lead.
Yeah, it's like Benny Cutie just told himself, remember who you are.
Remember.
Oh! Damn! That was not what you wanted to remember. He showed him who he was.
That was
Ayo.
Zyda, he saw low-lying fruit, low-hanging fruit, he went for it, man. And it was juicy.
Terlambat Zyda.
The new contract offers coming
It's too late, brother.
Whether it's in the Philippines or abroad, people are looking at him
Hey.
right now and salivating.
Wait. Give you a bit. They have not lost an inhibitor, and they are looking to push to the Lord Pit.
Yeah, they still have the Sora and Harith. Oh, Tracy got spotted out immediately.
Oh, that was a conceal. That was immediately denied. Tracy's going to be the one
Ah!
down and surrounded, but still being able to escape. Shifting skies right at the back, and 3mar's going to be doing the same. Shawn with the flicker again. MP the King using his very best to actually deal some damage, but Lansu cut down to at least half. And it's 3mar going down. Same could be said for Lansu. Nosha is still using some basic attacks to actually dish out some damage. Shaknu's still alive. Tanky as hell. How is he able to stay alive? Unfortunately for Twisted Minds, they are still up one more member unless Tracy goes down here. which is not going to be the case. Twisted Minds is fighting, and Sean, unaware of the situation, that Benny Cutie is there. Now the dance begins, and it ends immediately in the hands of Benny Cutie.
Why just now, man?
Why just now? Come on, man.
Where have you been?
Oh, man. Twisted Minds, though, still definitely in this, but Benny Cutie keeps
going for it. He is not terrified. Who's terrified is Tracy, because Stone has dished the damage inside the finishing blow. It's all red at the Lord Pit, and TNC Pro Team looking to extinguish the fire that was burned to be even brighter than before.
Sometimes you need to take out the old flame to get a brighter new flame that has some more relationship
shout out Chris Brown
repercussions than I realized. I thought I was just being poetic. But yeah, we were talking about the Sky Piercer at the start. MP the King did end up being the only Sky Piercer holder. Now, there is a Winter Crown for this Claude. Won't have the damage that they're looking for, but right now their main damage dealers, their actual carries, are actually the Gord and the Suyo. So they're fine. Nosha getting his last damage item, maybe the Malefic Roar is just going to be like some extra icing on the cake. But at this point, Damage Minds, Twisted Minds have it. It's just that it's so difficult to take this Harith down now. If they can somehow chain a series of stuns together to take out the Purify of Benny QT early and then catch him off guard, while still being able to manage everything else TNC has thrown at you, see, it's a really difficult checklist for Twisted.
Yeah, one unfortunate thing is that Nosha still is unscathed. There goes the damage again. MP and Tracy had to back away, even Benny using the Diamond Force, and Nosha cut down to 75% of his HP. Now two inhibitors are finally down. Twisted Minds are locking towards this Lord for their game one to stay intact and alive. Stone, 3mar also doing the same thing. Tracy just simply backing away. Shaknu just face checking every single position that Tracy's going to be coming from, and now 3mar is taking a bit of the damage. All inhibitors are down. Nosha is slowly being cut down to his health bar, and they are still holding on to this alive and kicking.
Yeah, that's a big base gutted here for Twisted. Benny Cutie said he was Gigil before this game started, and they're showing it.
Oh, you have to Pigil the Gigil. That's what the Tagalog would say. But now it's going to be Chakno again. Who's going to be taking the brunt of the damage, but is still alive. The Patrick's is pressing the Twisted Minds off. TNC now holding their biggest lead at 9K.
Coming with a little bit more distance to be able to free hit, because him getting close to Benny Cutie, he takes like 50% to 60% health.
Go for Zyder right away. MP the King notices that the Mambo is there too. Now they're going to have to back away, but MP the King is stuck. He still was able to save the day. Can he stay alive? Tracy playing bodyguard. Lancer's going to be following up the same way, but Tracy's going to have to sacrifice himself for the greater good. TNC.
Zyda, you tried
the
detail, and you gotta commend Jacknu or whoever called it for TNC for doing that.
That doesn't usually happen, right? Especially when you have like a hyper-mobile jungler.
Yeah.
Don't usually have a bodyguard inside. We'll have to fight inside the base though.
But they're going to have to guard their bodies this time, as Lancer's going to be using a flicker. Look at the one from behind. It's still going to be a slight overextension, but 3mar the setup that was necessary. Blazing Duo is going to be utilized again, hopefully to stay alive. TNC, when you have everything to...
It's too late! Woi, lama ke?
Update MSL Thailand. King of Gamers berhasil menjadi juara di MSL Thailand Season 1.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Wih, udah dapat lagi nih kita juara dari regional seberang ya.
Kemarin juga dari MPL MENA yang menang tuh Gike. Saya nge-cash Pak sampai jam 4:30.
Kapan?
Hari Jumat ke Sabtu itu.
Oh, yang kemarin itu ya?
Iya, itu Gike 4-3 skornya, seru banget.
Sama Radit.
Iya, sampai jam 4 pagi.
4 pagi. Startnya jam
10.
Semangat ya.
Semangat, tapi karena ya kita kan akan melihat perwakilan-perwakilan dari setiap region
sudah mulai muncul
di
ya
MSC
sekarang
ya. Dan sekarang kan kita masih mengawal untuk region kita dulu nih. Soalnya 6 dari tiket playoff ini masih ada sisa 1.
Sisa 1, ini lagi direbutin nih.
Ini mau siapa nih? Mau Gig apa Navi nih yang akan membuktikan di game ketiga. Tapi kan berarti harusnya Gig milih side ya. Kalau
Iya.
kalau Omawa jadi Gig kira-kira nih. Bayangkan Arwato adalah coach Max More.
Oke. Saya akan first pick tetap.
First pick, oke.
First pick tetap, iya. Karena tadi first picknya gak ada masalah sih kalian diambil. Ya bawakan kaliannya, tapi mungkin lebih ke kalau memang mau pakai tetap Cloud nih ya. Cloud itu harus ada ya yang bisa kuat di mid sih sebenarnya. Karena midnya tadi kepegang.
Oke.
Ya, misalnya ambil ini aja udah Kalea, Gord sama Cloud.
Oke, bisa. Tapi ya berarti kan Cloud memang seprio ini tapi tidak mendapatkan jaminan win. Ya kan tadi di match sebelumnya ada kalah. Tadi barusan juga ada kalah.
Betul. Tapi menurutku Cloud gak jelek-jelek banget asal dia jadi gitu loh.
Iya.
Selama punya 3 item itu sudah lumayan mengancam. Nah, ketika sudah punya 3 item itu tergantung pemainnya sekarang nih. Jadi ancaman buat teman atau lawan.
Baik.
Iya.
Dan ini ancaman untuk satu sama lain pastinya. Satu game penentuan.
Serem nih ya.
Iya, ini bukan bicara tentang strategi lagi sih, ini mentality.
Kita bicara HR sekarang.
Heart rate.
Heart rate-nya berapa
atau
nih?
Itu, HR, human resource.
Wah, bukan dong. Heart rate ya.
Iya.
Karena sebenarnya di Geek oke ya, cuman karena mereka terhantam nih di game yang kedua, biasanya resetnya jauh lebih susah loh.
Nah.
Yang kalah di game kedua dibandingkan dengan kalah di game yang pertama.
Oke, bener. Tapi ini first pick lagi.
Ya first pick lagi kan.
Dan kita tahu ya sebenarnya Navi juga iya sering kena reverse. Tapi akhir-akhir ini mereka yang
membaik ya, mereka yang mereverse ya bisa ya.
Ya akhirnya mereka kehilangan 1 game setelah 3 match ke belakang Om ya.
Iya, bahkan menangnya 2-0 terus nih.
Oh, berarti semenjak kedatangannya Jize dan Zeon.
Iya.
Ini baru game pertamanya kalah ya?
Game pertamanya kalah, benar.
Benar, oke.
Ya. Tapi masih ada nafas ya untuk keduanya. Tapi setelah ini, ya maksudku itu udah yang terakhir nafasnya udah.
Iya. Kenapa saya mendengar lagu Ori di sana ya? Oke. Dangerous Grass, wah! Oke, ini akan semakin membuat Guinevere tersingkir dari opsi sih. Ini bisa di-ban lagi nih sama Navi.
Iya. Pove, Leo, Guinevere masih, Freya juga.
Karena Dangerous Grass.
Iya.
Gak mau kena lagi.
Ada Marcel ya. Ini masih mau tetap ditutup gak nih Marcel nih?
Bisa dilepas gak sih?
Kayaknya jangan nih.
Jangan ya?
Iya, itu matahin combo kecil. Kayak yang kita mau tiba-tiba, misal aku pakai itu, aku pengen double jab. Jabnya cuma sekali, satunya nanti ya.
Iya.
Orangnya udah gak ada baru kita ke jab.
Dan belum lagi kayak movementnya kan.
Iya.
Platinum Snap juga ganggu-ganggu. Tapi
kali ya.
Mereka mau...
Marcel.
Mereka mau Baxia kayaknya.
Baxia?
Iya. Mereka mau sesuatu yang pasti-pasti aja. Baxia Hellcurt.
Udah lama banget.
Halo, sejuk dia.
Agak ragu sebenarnya karena lama gak kelihatan ya.
Iya.
Baxia, oke. Ada Marcel.
Iya, Marcelnya emang dikasih nih.
Iya.
Marcel, ini bukan...
Fotonya Marcel juga ya?
Pas campnya ke Marcel. Saya agak bingung. Tapi Harley. Oh iya, Harley di-ban terus dan emang ngasih Marcel berarti buat Afro.
Yap. Ambilkah Marcelnya? Kalau ya atau mungkin mereka mau melawan Marcel dengan Hylos. Kayak biasa deh. Marcel lagi mau maju ditusuk.
Menggunakan Marcel melawan Marcel dengan lampu-lampunya gimana coba? Saya agak pusing di sini.
Yap. Marcel.
Yes, Marcel
atau mau tetap Harit?
Cusin sih masih.
Cusin Harit itu ya? Karena bisa digeser aja.
Bisa ya benar. Ya itu cusin Harit atau cusin Cloud, dah pilih aja. Navi dari tadi kan kita tahu 2 game itu cusin dengan Harit. Cusin Harit 2 game.
Ya, masih ya. Apakah dengan combo yang sama juga dan langsung menuju ke arah Harit tapi tidak dengan cusinnya.
Suyo ya. Di-pick di atas langsung.
Langsung ya Suyo.
Ya, Suyo Harit juga oke sebenarnya. Kayak udah memastikan damager mereka physical dengan magicnya cukup. Nah ini nih, mau combo-combo apa nih? Mau Gord? Mau buka Gord? Atau ambil Cusin aja?
Cusin boleh.
Ya. Ada Gatot Kaca Hylos. Banyak
banget ya.
Sebenarnya oke itu Hylos.
Marcel juga masih ada.
Oh iya bener.
Marcel Glue.
Banyak banget.
Iya, Glue juga masih oke sebenarnya. Kalau mau diambil tapi itu dia Cloud dan Cusin.
Wow. Berhasil ke aksi culik-menculik tadi ya dari Harley ini ya.
Oke, last. Sebelum kita masuk ke dalam second band phase.
Tapi ya, harusnya Navi udah sadar betul. Mereka nggak ngambil Cusin, ini Cusinnya bakal buat Aboy.
Yap.
Bakal diambil. Jadi rencana apa yang mereka
Wih,
siapkan
makin
untuk
malam
berhadapan dengan
Cusin.
makin meriang oh. Asli aku
Pasti
benda
ada
sih ya.
yang punya
Siang
dash,
tadi
minimal
dulu oh.
bisa lompat lah ya.
Oke.
Ya. Tapi mid dulu kalau memang mau
Oh.
Atau mau ambil Gatotnya dulu.
ya, susah banget.
Ya Gatot ini bisa oke lah ya buat
Gatot.
lepas
Gas.
dari Deadly Magic. Tapi langsung menuju ke arah Gord dulu.
Gord ya.
Gorde lu.
Ya jujur lumayan berani ya, balik lagi ada Harley yang bisa melompat dengan special
Iya,
skill.
ini berani
Cloud
banget.
Tuh
juga.
berani
Ada
lu.
Cloud juga di sampingnya bisa blessing duet. Lumayan berani memang. Nah, yang sebenarnya buat Navi enaknya adalah mereka tinggal milih nih partnernya mau siapa. Apakah Kaja, Chow, atau si masih Hylos sih kalau Gatot Kaca.
Iya ya.
Ya Gatot Kaca juga bisa.
Area ya.
Iya, selama megang dan bisa kena dari Mystic Projectile.
Oke. Tapi untuk banning phase dulu. Dari Sora ya masih ya.
3 game ya.
Iya. Tapi memang hero-nya Marcel tidak terlalu jadi priority ya. Diambilnya di 2 pick terakhir terus.
Iya. Tapi Marcel juga bagus loh buat Navi. Kalau dilompatin Harley kan aman ya.
Marcel.
Iya, Marcel tuh.
Ya ini agak bingung pasti ya Marcel player apa Marcel hero nih.
Ya, asumsi kita sebutnya hero dulu ya teman-teman ya.
Ya hero dulu. Oke, tapi setelah Sora, blue-nya ditutup. Pick off-nya Chow mungkin atau bawa Marcel akhirnya.
Gatot.
Menyelamatkan dari kebingungan.
Iya, makasih ya atas band-nya.
Gatot lapu.
Ya, jadi besar kemungkinan
Wanjas.
Teris dulu.
Wah,
Teris
Teris
lah.
di series ini sih 0% ya.
Ya. Belum
Di
ya.
2 game pertama tadi.
Bener. Tapi expendable apapun juga yang dipegang dengan Gig. Ini bisa dibakar dengan Mystic Gush.
Iya, Uranus mungkin juga bisa jadi opsi.
Dibakar dengan Mystic Gush.
Iya. Atau ya tetap aja main yang tabrak-tabrak, secas kayak lapu-lapu.
Lapo sih,
paling
iya
possible.
betul. Lapo oke
Iya.
banget.
Tabrakin ya.
Lapu-lapu bisa direct ke gore-nya juga kan.
Iya.
Langsung pakai Berassus Fighter nantinya.
Lapu
dan juga pakai
dengan
rom badan yang bisa nahan.
ini sama Helos.
Hylos gimana? Hylos Cusin.
Berimbat
Gatotnya
juga tuh.
diambil ya. Yuzong itu dia.
Ya, mereka mau melompat ke belakang dan ini akan menjadi ujian buat Jize.
Iya.
Lulus gak nih? 4-4-nya bisa ke
Semenjak
samping
lanci
dia.
je lu tak
Jize
minta.
semua, weh.
Lanci
Pokoknya
Haya
Jize
Link.
hilang, tugas selesai buat Gig.
Oke.
Semua hero-hero assassin tersakiti yo.
Langsung badang gitu dia.
Badang.
Apro
Badang sih.
dengan hero
Oke.
andalannya juga. Tapi Gord yang terancam akan menjadi seperti apa hasilnya? Akankah Navi bisa survive atau justru Gig yang akan bisa meraih tiket playoff terakhir?
Ya, ini dia sebuah penentuan
Ini
sekarang.
kan
Siapa yang jauh lebih kuat mungkin secara mental dan yang pasti siapa yang lebih pantas untuk mendapatkan tiket menuju ke Velodrome.
Yap.
kalau draft
Tapi dia.
ada
Kalau
hari
kita mau tanya dia sama MPL Arena.
aku tak suka Gorde aja guys nih.
Kira-kira yang lolos playoff
Tapi
Navi
lagi
atau
4 tu semua aku
Gig
suka.
Bomb? Navi atau
So kalau
Gig
draft
Bomb?
aku ke Navi ya. Tapi kalau dari segi
Ya,
gameplay
sekarang
aku
kita
rasa
MPL
Navi
Arena.
kejong oh.
Mana?
Aku sudah takut-takut oh.
aja.
Link keluar Dewa pakai lah. Tapi Dewa tadi fun match kan.
Yes, itu dia ya. Alright, satu game
Fun match lagi
terakhir
dia.
yang akan menjadi penentuan pastinya. Pastinya ini bukan
Aduh.
cuma sekedar adu strategi, adu mentality. Dan gimana nasib Jize ini waktu kira-kira?
Ya, ini Jize-nya ya nggak bisa dijaga juga sih sebenarnya buat Jize ya.
Iya.
Jadi
Jize
harus bisa
melawan hukum alam nih.
bener, dia harus mandiri banget sekarang buat Jize. Tapi bisa karena dia pakai flicker.
Ya.
Ya minimal bisa coba untuk ngedodge.
Yep.
Yang lebih bahaya sebenarnya untuk si ini Apronya ya.
Oke.
kena
Maka sekarang
dua-dua lah tuh.
Adoryu. Sangat agresif, revitalize, sudah terlalu terpop up. Sementara sekarang Apro mencoba untuk bisa mengantarkan
Oh,
Tapi
oh.
Adoryu
Hoi.
hampir saja menjadi korban.
Hampir ya, tapi setidaknya Jize tuh bisa clear dengan cukup dari jarak jauh Om.
Move
Jadi
unit.
lumayan lah, XP-nya nggak yang ketinggalan banget.
Ya, tapi itu Trip kiri mau diambil semuanya digundulin ya. Dari Gig mereka sudah mulai menuju ke sana semua. Dan dari dua EXP lane nih sama-sama emblem fighter. Sama-sama tanky ya, sama-sama tebel juga. Dan Andoryu kali ini masih tertahan di level 2 nih karena kirinya udah habis.
Udah resource-nya dicuri-curi ya. Oke. Dan masih belum terlihat
Very
ada
risky
persetujuan
rotation Harley.
setelah tadi adanya upaya dealing damage satu sama lain. Tapi lihat Kars melakukan sedikit freeze minion menuju ke arah Marcelnya juga. Oke, tabrak.
Buset.
Buset, itu ya kombonya ya.
Kombonya gitu
Kalau
ya.
kena Mystic Projectile, kena Fist Break,
Wih,
siap-siap
wih,
kalau ada Mystic Gush
wih.
nanti. Soalnya masih under level
Oh.
4 ya, belum bisa Mystic Gush.
Oke. Ini dicicil-cicil terus juga
Lunas ya lama-lama.
lama-lama lunas ini basic projectile. Bisa clear sambil ditinggal. Dan sebentar lagi Turtle akan muncul.
Junctionnya tuh jahat tuh lihat tuh.
Iya.
Muter tuh lihat tuh. Habis semuanya udah. Wave minionnya.
Bakar HP soalnya juga. Apalagi hero tebal injak itu. Sakit ya.
Oke. Dan Aboy sesaat lagi sudah level 4. Dan mereka bersiap untuk bisa melakukan team fight di area dari Turtle. Dan ini dia. Black Dragon Form udah langsung terlihat. Sementara itu dari Turtle-nya dibiarkan saja oleh pemain dari Navi.
Iya, nggak mau dikontes ya. Tapi dengan adanya Marcel yang langsung membuka Black Dragon Form itu udah ngezoning abis.
Wey.
Player-player Navi juga mau kontes pun segan.
Hampir terkena bola-bola kehidupan.
Dengan Space Escape kembali tadi oleh Nazara. Atas lumayan sama-sama damai sih. Masih konsep Zeon ya yang selalu bisa farming juga. Tapi topnya lihat sudah mulai ada kunjungan kerja nih ya dari Geek Farm.
Yep.
Oh, dikunci depan belakang.
Oke, sementara sekarang Aboy mulai masuk area terdepan. Tapi pergerakan Zeon masih berhasil untuk bisa menyelamatkan dirinya.
Iya, dengan Purify ya yang dikeluarkan juga.
Tapi serem banget sih itu 3 orang ke atas. Dibukain juga Crimson Beacon tadi dari Aboy. Dan di bawah sepertinya Marcel masih bisa bertahan. Cukup panjang dan lama tapi Zeon low HP.
Oke, sementara Zeon
Ya.
masih kuat Zeon ya.
Dan juga Kenziski saya tahu ya ada hal-hal tidak enak yang menghampiri. Karena tadi Afro udah mulai mau backup kan.
Yep.
Jadi ya udah nggak bisa maksain lagi.
Yes,
Dia
sir.
lebih memilih untuk bermain lebih hati-hati. Mundur dulu perlahan. Oke, dan temponya sangat-sangat pelan. Karena ini memang bukan cuma sekedar vibes match point ya. Ini do or die banget sih.
Betul. Semua hasil latihan mereka akan ditentukan di game yang
Loh.
sekarang.
Sabar.
MPL referee
Walah.
pause the match.
Sabar.
Ya.
Tapi ini memang tegang banget ya.
Sabar ya guys ya.
Elhos.
Oh, dari Geek, dari
Elhos.
Ya.
Dari Geek.
Ya, kalau kita intip di ke belakang ya.
Kalau kita intip
Ayo,
ke-
ya.
MPLID pun salah aku ah.
Oke, tapi ya early yang sebenarnya terlihat dipegang sama Geek Fam sih. Tapi
Dahsyat betul.
tapi
Elhos.
tips tapi kayak kerasa
MPL masalah aku, MPLID salah aku.
Gitu.
Woi.
Dari semuanya mungkin secara keseluruhan ya.
Begat.
Mereka harus main hati-hati. Jangan sampai misalnya midnya sampai ke pick. Terus mereka ke kita di sana.
Iya.
Objektif bisa diambil. Bolong jungle-nya.
Soalnya mereka nggak mau ke pick, mau ke velodrome.
Betul. Sudah pernah ya di sana ya.
Iya, peak season lalu.
Ya maaf deh.
Sabar.
Nah ini yang minta pause dari Geek Fam ya.
Geek ya, teman-teman ya, Geek ya, Geek,
Gitu.
Geek.
Dari Aboy kayaknya ya.
Boy.
Oke, sabar dulu. Kembali lagi, kita akan menantikan bagaimana kelanjutan dari pertarungan yang cukup berdarah pastinya.
Ini part 3 nih ya, Cloud lawan Harit.
Iya, masih
Party.
match up
Dah
sama
pos
ya.
Masih
bawa
match up
bis.
sama kalau goldnya.
Iya.
EXP-nya udah beda-beda.
Kepala otak bu. Aduh.
Yang sama cuma di gold.
Sama terus ya,
Sama terus.
3 game ini. Dan
Ah.
gak pindah ini lagi, gak pindah sisi lagi.
Iya, sama ya.
3 game dari Gensi pakai Cloud, 3
Iya.
game Zeon pakai Harit. Oke, tapi device-nya
udah
ini
nih,
udah dipegang ya masing-masing. Harusnya memastikan tidak akan ada kendala lagi yang terjadi juga untuk melanjutkan bagaimana perjuangan terakhir menuju ke babak playoff. Ini
Yap.
dia,
Dan game sudah ready lagi teman-teman. Let's
sudah
go.
siap lagi. Let go. Dan di atas ada platingan ya yang bisa dilakukan juga. Ini lumayan banget pastinya
Oh, banyak tuh.
untuk Kenzi.
Iya.
Oke, sementara Zeon. Sepertinya Zeon masih belum memiliki satu purify. Apro sudah join. Guna untuk bisa memberikan backupan dan terusirlah sudah beberapa player tadi dari Gig.
Ya, ini kiri map benar-benar dipegang dengan Gig juga. Sedangkan Navi berusaha untuk mengamankan di bagian kanan dari map mereka, apalagi ada turtle ya yang memang spawn. Tapi by levelnya juga masih sama sebenarnya, jadi untuk adu retri masih bisa memungkinkan kalau memang mau dilakukan oleh Navi. Afro dari belakang Kenzie.
Oke, dan Kenzie ada satu MLBB yang dikeluarkan. Kenzie berusaha untuk bisa mempertahankan dirinya. Zeon tidak bisa memaksakan keadaan.
Ya, sama-sama keluar
Jomel.
resource ya pastinya, tapi ada Jize.
Oh, bola lagi duluan.
Tertangkap dan satu.
Oh, dulu liga.
Flicker yang udah
Nah!
terbakar. Kenzie selamat dan apa kemudian membuat Jize terjebak di dalam satu agresi yang dia lakukan sendirian.
Ya,
Nafsu
itu Flicker yang
membunuhmu,
sebenarnya Kenzie-nya selamat. Dan di sisi lain Nazara dapetin turtle.
Nistray ya,
Iya,
Tapi keuntungan berlipat
nistray.
untuk Big Fam.
Iya, kayak sebuah langkah yang cukup ragu-ragu ya, maju atau enggak,
Nice
diteruskan
try.
dan ternyata backupan sudah masuk dari Gig. Dan Aboy punya glowing one. Sebuah start awal yang indah
Saja nak
untuk
burukkan
Gig.
gol.
Ya.
Tidak membuat kesalahan dan cenderung lebih ke mempunish pemain dari Navi tadi.
Plus juga akhirnya akan ada informasi Jize nggak ada flicker nih.
Iya, nih
Kalau mau ditabrak nantinya.
bisa ya. Oke, first item Prayo, Apro, Thunder, Jise, Arken, Boots.
Masalahnya dari tadi tak nampak lagi
Udah
poking
pada
badang
jadi,
skill
tapi
2
selalu
gorde
tetap
combo.
diganggu. Dan ini
Combo,
mengakibatkan mungkin dari Zionnya sulit
1-2.
untuk bisa keluar dari area turret dia.
Yep. Oke. Oke, udah selesai juga ya untuk Demon Hunter.
Dedu Amin
bagi
Behel.
Genjiski.
Kuasa.
Tapi sementara itu Big Fam ini benar-benar lagi maintain keunggulan mereka sih. Ini udah tinggal ya udah react aja dan Andoryu, waduh,
Ketahuan.
kena tabrak tuh ya.
Iya, insting yang baik tadi sepertinya dari Marcel ya.
Dia langsung masuk ke area rerumputan. Oke, keadaan kembali menurun tensinya, kembali tenang lagi. Dan Nazara juga lumayan susah ini untuk ditangkap, Om.
Iya. Bisa kalau kena ini ya, Fist Break atau Mystic Projectile.
Oke, di depan berbeda. Apa terus Guardian tadi korek karena dua player, tapi sekarang malah terjebak Baliskinya sendiri. Rapid telah satu dibuka
Tak
tapi Jize.
sempat regen
Menjadi
dia.
korban pertama. Harus ditukar dengan adanya balo yang sangat-sangat lama untuk bisa menumbangkan satu romer kick.
Wah, top lane-nya didorong sama Kenzie. Kayaknya agak sedikit terlambat untuk bisa dipertahankan juga. Dan lagi-lagi, Jize yang tumbang ini
Nampak macam
bukan
mampus
menjadi
untuk
trade yang
mampus ya.
adil juga untuk Navi.
Aku udah mati,
Karena
bro,
Balo
gatuk ya
dan
tadi.
juga satu buah outer top turret.
Yap, dan pergerakan dari Marcel begitu baik tadi membuat sebuah jebakan. Dia bersembunyi dalam rumputan dan sekarang tertinggal sudah Kars. Menjadi korban zaman Force langsung terusir. Sementara sekarang coba lihat Marcelnya. Berhasil mengusir tiap player dari Navi.
Ya, benar-benar gak bisa lagi untuk ada di area tersebut. Dan perfect turtle harusnya bisa didapatkan oleh Nazara.
Ini udah sesuai dengan mungkin draft yang akan dibawakan oleh Gig ya. Mereka bakal nabrak mencari Jize.
Tadi,
Dan terjadi
tadi badang gordenya tadi ya.
Gak bisa kabur sama sekali. Masih ada Flicker sekarang yang ready lagi.
Dia boleh
Dan
buat
Jize
banyak
harus
kali
tahu
oh
diri
dekat
Flicker
gatot
kalau
ni.
memang mau selamat dari tim fight.
Kat Yujong ke kat Zuzi nah.
Kalau misalkan nih ya, selamat dari Nazara. Belum tentu dari Kenziski dan Marcel.
Iya.
Terlalu banyak.
Aku rasa
Marcel
sekali
siapa
pun
lagi?
ada men. Tak bukan full combo sampai mati.
Bulan lepas.
Just poking skill 2.
Oke.
Jize
Lepas tu
berhasil
gorde
dari
1-2
menyelamatkan
dah.
diri. Ada projectile yang memang sudah dilempar.
Yap.
Masalah tadi kan game yang pertama, mereka melawan hukum alam dengan begitu banyaknya efek sisi.
Yep.
Junglernya Barat.
Barat,
Dan
ya.
sekarang banyak yang lompat belakang. Ada Gord.
Yep. Dan ini goldnya ya gak bisa purif juga sih.
Gak bisa
Mau gak mau Flicker memang.
Iya,
ngelawan hukum alam terus dia, Navi ya.
susah ya kalau Purify ya.
Ya, tapi ya tergantung posisi. Kalau memang pas ada yang lompat terus bisa kena Mystic Gush dan tumbang, itu kesempatan
Ya.
untuk Navi bisa menangin tim fight.
Bener-bener jadi kuncian juga ya.
Yep.
Oke. Tapi seenggaknya ada secondary damage dealer Om. Bisa di Andoryu atau di Zeo nantinya.
Ya, lebih ke CR sih kalau memang mau diandalkan ya.
What if Alt
Wah,
Marcel
ditabrak-tabrak
campur
terus nih.
bola-bola
Kalau Rizky
God?
mainnya udah bukan di jungle-nya Nazara.
Terlalu slow.
Ini udah bener-bener
Animation
langsung
bola
membuka
gorde.
vision untuk Geek Fam secara lebih luas.
Oke. Dan itu dia, Daily Magic tadi udah langsung terlihat dalam area tersebut. Bisa kena ke arah Terisla.
Selama kena ke Kars aman ya.
Kalau
Karena Kars juga
Marcelati kat ujung-ujung boleh ya.
lumayan sulit untuk bisa langsung di instant. Radian tadi, first item untuk Kars yang sudah selesai.
Ya. Aboynya udah Sky Pierce lagi sekarang.
Wah, ini yang bahaya.
Uh-uh.
Karena untuk tim fight sustain, kalau Aboynya masih ada dengan Lantern Flare, bisa pecah terus ya untuk buat skirmishes-nya.
Yep. Dan 3-1 ya poin killnya dengan 3.000 gold yang sekarang dipegang sama Geek juga.
Hey Marcel. Trigger kali ini dari Black Dragon Pop ya.
Yujong no ulti.
Ada rekan-rekannya di dalam area tersebut.
Ya.
Akankah dimanfaatkan oleh pemain dari Navi?
Bisa sih, tapi masalahnya top lane-nya udah mulai kedorong juga sama
Olah,
Genghis.
kuncil.
Jadi ya mau nggak mau harus ada
Wih.
yang dikirim dulu. Dan ini akan menjadi waktu juga untuk
Udah
Kifan
jauh.
sembari menunggu untuk Black Dragon Formnya siap lagi dari Marcelo.
Iya, tapi tadi ada retry ya yang sempat terpakai juga. Cuman memang respon dari Geek sendiri ya karena si Nazara masih ada di area top. Mereka nggak langsung juga buat pegang dari Lordnya. Ini untuk Lord. Dimulai oleh Navi.
Ada satu dari Magic yang dikeluarkan.
Sakit lah Syak. Waduh, fuck.
Sekarang Kars akan tertangkap basah dan itu dia. Karsnya berhasil ditarik. Penalti shotnya tadi udah berhasil langsung terkendara. Sekarang ada balasan yang dilakukan oleh Jize. Apa teroguan dia ada gambarnya karena siapapun. Sebentar Baliskinya terjebak di area belakang. Baliskinya masih berusaha untuk bisa mempertahankan diri. Tapi Lordnya coba lihat. Lordnya berhasil diambil oleh pemain dari Geek. Ada
Badang
dua
intervention,
player dari
oke?
Geek yang berhasil dilangkah tapi Lord berhasil mereka ambil.
Ya gak apa-apa kayaknya. Ini karena memang Romer dan EXP pengorbanan mereka.
Yap.
Membuat Lordnya jatuh ke tangan dari Geek.
Yap.
Intervention,
Tadi memang
man.
bisa dihindari kan kalau kita lihat.
Zero
Jize-nya
impact,
jalan
wow.
Waktu LG dibuka tadi.
Iya.
Jadi masih menyimpan tuh flickernya yang terjaga
Waduh,
sampai
Badang
dan
Alif
sejauh ini.
Syukri.
Oke. Ada Ryu yang sebenarnya punya chance
Badang
untuk
hijau.
bisa melakukan kontes tadi ya.
Yap.
Cuman setelah kena deadly
Badang
magic,
hijau
dia
ke?
harus mundur. Dan akhirnya tidak ada kesempatan untuk
Berat.
Ya, lagi-lagi ya slow push untuk Geek memaksimalkan super minion nih yang berjalan dan
Haha.
bisa dibuat oleh Lord yang pertama. Sabar dulu ya kan. Dan 3 lane sudah mulai dikuasai dan goldnya juga masih dipegang oleh Geek. Gak tertinggal terlalu jauh. Kurang Holy Crystal buat Zeon kalau memang mau aktif ya.
Movie favorite Aci kok.
Dan kayak hero-hero yang bisa pindah gini loh, kayak Harley, Cloud, itu susah juga buat ditangkapnya.
Yep. Kecuali kalau pas kena stun nih, kena stun combo bisa kali ya.
Iya. Oke. Holy Defense yang sudah langsung mengusir Lordnya juga. Tapi lihat, turret-turret yang lainnya udah dilucuti satu persatu. 5.000 gold dipegang oleh Geek.
Dan sekarang Marcel akan bergerak maju, akan masuk ke dalam area defensif yang dimiliki oleh Navi. Sementara Geek, mereka terusir mundur. Ada Baloiski berusaha untuk bisa pulang. Tertangkap kali ini.
Ya, itu kena fist break juga ya. Dengan adanya follow up damage dari Mystic Gush yang disumbangkan oleh Jize, yang ngebuat dari Baloiskinya pun tidak selamat. Even pun dia harus mengeluarkan Revitalize tadi.
Ya ini mau di engage lagi kan? Karena Navi sebenarnya bisa loh. Kalau mereka mau coba untuk tangkap. Tapi nggak ternyata gak ada minion. So tahan aja dulu. Apolnya udah fist break ya. Untuk kembali keluar. Reposisi dari Navi. Nah memang tadi tertangkap nih buat si Baloy. Tapi bakal ready lagi seharusnya. Cuman nggak untuk buff ya, karena mulai diambil oleh Geek. Hilang sekarang buat Orange.
Di retry ya?
Yep.
Sama Nazara juga. Aman banget untuk langsung dicuri semuanya. Resource-nya udah mulai habis. Ya karena untuk farming, sebenarnya kayaknya sekarang udah mulai dikasih ke arah Zeon ya Om ya?
Yep. Karena mau gak mau sih Zeonnya harus bisa cepet ya. Untuk V3 itemnya selesai sama core item. Tinggal Winter Crown, mau Winter Crown kan nanti buat Zeon? Karena dia udah bawa Purif. Atau Divine Glaive.
Oke, bisa Divine Glaive sih. Mereka butuh damage juga gak sih? Tambahan lagi. Harusnya akan menuju ke arah Divine Glaive. Mungkin kalau mau Winter bisa opsi terakhir aja. Kalau memang terancam. Tapi so far ya Zeonnya aman banget nih. Belum ada point dead sama sekali.
Betul. Dan Nazara juga masih bakal nge-clear ya satu demi satu. Ini Jize sih, semua mata harus melihat ke dia. Kalau sampai ketangkep, gak sempat buat Mystic Gush. Navi bisa jadi bakal dipukul mundur. Tapi kalau Mystic Gush-nya kena, minimal ilangin half HP deh dari Marcel. Itu bisa kembaliin keadaan.
Iya. Atau trigger Black Dragon Form-nya ya.
Iya.
Kayak tadi kan juga ada chance untuk bisa menangin teamfight kan akhirnya.
Yep. Ini posisi akan menentukan segalanya untuk Jize terutama. Tidak boleh terlalu di depan, jangan sampai ketangkap dengan Unbreakable.
Yep. Oke. Sementara Kars terjebak. Ada projectile tadi, connect, Baloiski, Revitalize sudah terpop up. Apa yang akan terjadi? Karena Marcel belum take off sejauh ini.
Iya, ini Kars yang babak belur, tapi tadi juga Kenzie lumayan low HP ya.
Yep.
Tapi untungnya ya Kenzie punya Emblem Fighter.
Nah, bisa ngisi lagi nih.
Gak
Ini
perlu recall ya.
curangnya Cloud ya, ngisi darahnya di Lord. Lihat tuh, penuh lagi darahnya.
Ya. harusnya di-commit gak sih ini?
Ya, di-commit.
Bottom lane-nya udah mulai jadi
Give up,
PR
yo.
dan Nazara secured Lord untuk Gifem.
Lord menjadi milik dari Gig.
Udah lah, guys.
Kesempatan terbuka untuk
Navi
mereka.
goyang terus udah nih.
Bisa melaju ke babak
Gentil,
playoff.
gentil.
Sangat ya, apalagi dengan
Kaki ini
keunggulan
bukan
yang cukup masif
bukan
juga
saya
di
juga
angka
ini udah
5.000.
beku.
Base turret di atas dan
Antartika,
di bawahnya juga udah
men.
apalagi ini item terakhir dari
Gengarino
akan
napa
segera
dua-dua
selesai.
tim men sangat disiplin
Oke, defend Glaive tadi juga buat
Bukan
Zion ya.
disiplin udah.
Defend selesai.
Kita ada telur,
Kedua
weh.
side nanti untuk
Rino
Kenzie.
salah tak Ramin suruh bawa
Tapi
Oben.
Lord yang diberikan.
Aduh.
Navi sebenarnya sih buat mereka bisa menang mungkin di game sekarang ya.
Masalahnya dari
Masih
game
ada
1 lagi
Masih
dari
bisa
tadi
clear
nampak
juga buat
Navinya.
Lord-nya. Tapi minimal
Stand up
satu
player
pistol
nih,
bagian
aduh.
bawah ini bisa
Stand up
dicabut.
player rookie ya.
Harusnya ya.
Yep.
Oke. Masih coba untuk ditahan. Seperti
Kalah
tidak
mental.
bisa untuk sebuah inner middle turret.
Lose to the pressure.
Oke. Satu base turret yang ada di bagian bawah sudah berhasil langsung dirubuhkan saja. Masih ada Zeon sendirian berusaha untuk bisa menghilangkan karena satu Lord tersebut dan juga gangguan dari beberapa pemain. Kick pump.
Ya. Masih bisa ditahan Lordnya. Tapi ya Geeknya juga memang mau pelan-pelan banget ya. Mereka nggak bisa terlalu memaksakan kehendak juga. Kecuali dengan adanya super wave minion berikutnya. Apakah mereka akan paksa?
Ada naga bisa
Dan
dipaksa.
itu dia serangannya. Take off sudah langsung dilakukan oleh Marcel. Akan kemana arah perginya. Sementara sekarang Andorio agak mundur sedikit ke arah belakang. Dan Marcel masih terjebak
Alah,
kamera
kalah
tersebut.
balik rumahnya
Tapi
Pak A.
Paloyski menghilang dengan saja pada mereka semua pun langsung dipukul mundur oleh beberapa pemain dimiliki oleh
Satu.
Navi.
Yap. Itu dia mencoba untuk masuk tapi langsung di-clear ya tadi dengan adanya Zeon membuka zaman force. Dengan ada follow up damage dari Mysticus juga, Baloyski-nya berhasil untuk dihilangkan untuk keempat kalinya.
Ya, dan bukan posisi masuk yang pas banget ya untuk Geek Farm karena kita melihat masih ada 2 base turret yang ready tadi. Jadi nggak terlalu besar damage yang bisa diberikan dari Geek juga. Di kerusakan mereka masih akan bisa ditahan dan ya kita masih in the game sekarang. Dari Navinya yang punya kesempatan untuk kontes the next Lord. Karena mereka bisa banget dengan item yang sudah diselesaikan. Ini sama-sama kuat loh buat Kenzie dan juga buat Zeon. Sudah, ya bisa dibilang Zeon juga jadi.
Iya, secara item.
Secara item ya, tinggal team fight-nya.
Dan juga secara landingnya.
Iya.
Ini lane bawah kebetulan seberangan nih sama next Lord yang bakal muncul.
Yep. Tapi kalau bisa dibilang ya mungkin dari Navi kalau memang mereka rela nih ngelepasin base turret-nya lagi, mereka lebih bagus defend di area base mereka. Ya karena secara defensive mekanisme lebih kuat kan harus disamperin.
Mereka bisa punish kan?
Iya betul. Mereka kayak kalau draft mereka kalau
Aku
nyamperin
rasa
susah gitu
17
loh.
menit badang
Kalau
ni
disamperin
tak ada function oh.
Iya,
Meninggal
ada
boh.
penalty zone, ada cracknya juga. Tinggal apalagi nantinya untuk JZ akan jauh lebih aman. Dia bisa berlindung di belakang turret kan.
Iya. Jadi orang ragu ya kalau
Iya.
mau pukul ke Jisen.
Oke.
Ya,
Tapi ya dengan vision yang sekarang dipegang sama Geekfam harusnya ya mereka bisa kuasai area dari Lordnya duluan ya.
Iya.
Badangan gordinya.
Geek juga gak
2
ragu
menit
ya.
lah.
Lihat Lordnya udah spawn, ya udah langsung di
2 menit ini jalan-jalan aja.
Udah gak usah nunggu menit 18.
Oh, konsil. Tapi ada
Eh,
Baloyski.
Koncil.
Gak bisa.
Bertemu dengan Baloyski Apro. Balik badan
Aboy.
Oh.
Masih berhasil kabur Aboy dalam patrol guardia tadi sepertinya berhasil langsung mendapatkan ke arah Kars. Bahkan sekarang coba lihat Marcelnya akan landing ke arah mana. Marcel
Balik,
sudah mencoba untuk bisa memberikan gangguan tapi
Lawan 2 hari
Kars.
ada ulti oh.
Ada satu tadi penalti zone tapi
Nah,
JZ.
GG.
Lejam seketika itu dia Kenzie dengan satu blessing, dua dia udah langsung dia keluarkan dan juga untuk Kars kali ini langsung terjebak tidak bisa kemana-mana dan waktu itu Nazara mencoba untuk bisa mengatakan damage coba juga ke depan tiga
What a
player.
call doh Teris Lalti
Dari
tuh
Navi.
babak pelik aja.
Harus pulang.
Itu bener-bener JZ di sebelahnya ada Kenziski dengan Blazing Duet yang free banget.
Kalau
Om.
benda yang dia tangkap tuh kan.
Tadi kan ada si Baloy juga di sebelah dia.
Kalau
dan
Claude
Lord
Lasit
Evolve. Ini sepertinya akan menjadi gratis
Harley
untuk
Lasit
Dah boleh lepak
paham
mama
lagi
dengan
ya.
AQ.
pertahanan yang luar biasa
Harley.
juga yang dibuat dari Geek tadi.
Hari punya ulti literally baru je wasted.
Evolve
Bukan
Lord.
wasted
Sementara
lah. Maksudnya dia attempt
Navi,
nak
kalau
bunuh
mereka
Rudy
bisa
kan.
tahan
Tak dapat
satu
kan.
Lord ini, kesempatan mereka masih ada nih. Tapi dengan pertahanan
Langsung
dulu,
saja Terry-nya
nggak bisa
lompat
langsung
sial.
menyerang. Dan untuk Geek, mereka
Oh,
sudah
dia
punya
pula tengah
Evolve
full
Lord.
stack. Oi,
Kesempatan untuk
seronok.
mereka adalah mencabut semua base star dan bahkan menabrak secara langsung juga karena buff yang diberikan dari Evolve Lord.
Iya. Dan kita tahu bagaimana Chusin ini bisa menghindar dengan cukup banyak set ya.
Evo
Kayak
lah.
dari flickernya atau mau dari Crimson Beacon-nya. Makanya tadi mau komit ke arah Aboy juga susah. Om.
Iya, berat banget tadi.
Iya. Kayak
Banyak-
bahkan tadi untuk Kars juga langsung buka penalty zone kan ke Aboy. Cuman
Iya.
Aboynya nggak tumbang.
Banyak crowd control ya bisa dibilang.
Iya.
Oke,
Is this
apa
the
yang akan
end?
terjadi? Karena Lon akan bergerak masuk lewat bawah. Sementara beberapa player milikin oleh Gig sudah mulai bergerak. Marcel akan landing sesaat lagi. Terlihat dari Dragotel, Furious DP mungkin akan langsung dikeluarkan pula. Namun belum ada yang terkonek tadi dengan satu Mystic Projectile. Sementara sekarang Zamar Podo langsung di pop up. Dan sekarang Blazing Duet. Dan juga Winter Crown. Yang mungkin akan mengantarkan mereka menuju ke babak playoff. Kalau sekarang ada web dia lompat lagi. Furious DP sementara player milikin oleh Navi. Mereka
Sedihnya Badang.
sekuat tenaga untuk bisa mempertahankan satu phase terakhir mereka miliki.
First time tembak Brody ke sepanjang game? Gege.
Welcome.
Boring
to
sel.
playoff game.
Mengecewakan Nabi. Kalah tak apa, tapi tu kalah memang kalah mental ya bro. Kaki sejuk men.
Diamankan oleh Gig.
Aduh.
A gig
Tak masalahnya Gifam tak main padu dah.
Wow, Geek Farm
Gifam buat apa? Tak ada apa sangat pun dia.
melaju
Anjas
menuju
Mighty.
ke velodrome.
Iya.
Dan mereka mungkin bisa mengukir sesuatu yang baru juga di sana. Tapi itu dia ada tangis haru juga kita lihat datang dari pemain-pemain Geek Fam. Bukan hanya yang bermain.
Ya,
nih.
takut sangat buat mistake sampai tak berani nak buat apa-apa. Itulah dia. Itulah sindrom Goy.
Cukup dramatis pastinya, benar-benar berjuang sampai terakhir. Walaupun kita tahu Navi dengan amunisi baru mereka, win streak mereka dapetin, tapi in the end, Geek Farm yang membuktikan mereka layak berhasil untuk bisa mendapatkan satu tiket playoff yang ke-6.
Yep. Please. Berjuanglah sekuat tenaga nanti ya di babak playoff untuk siapapun yang bermain di play-in di hari yang pertama. Karena kesempatan kalian cuma satu hari itu loh.
Yep.
Menang lanjut, kalah pulang. Dengan contoh kayak sekarang, Geng, dengan perjuangan sampai hari terakhir, game yang terakhir.
Kita kata dengan Gorde, masalahnya daripada awal pun.
Yep. Dan extra ya untuk Navi. Sampai dengan
Aku gegar masalahnya daripada awal.
regular season yang terakhir.
Tengok
Yep. Nih.
Kita bandang dengan Gorde ni ya. Level 1 Badang ambil skill 1. Tu je dah pening lah. Sedangkan Badang skill 2 Gorde
Bantai-bantai.
Gorde kolam. Dah kuat gila dah poking eh. Tak nak. Ni kan. Kau tahu tak? Ni kan. Kenapa Gordenya level 1 tapi Badang level 2 lah? Ayo. Okay, good zoning. Tu tak suci tu. Kenapa Gordon ni pergi clear lah? Kau tahu tak? Zujin tu half HP, Gatot memenung di tempat lain, tak tolong dia clear wave. Lepas tu Badang ada flicker, Zujin tak ada flicker. Kalau dia freeze je, Badang flicker skill 2, Zujin lari pakai apa bro? Tak ada apa-apa bro. Aduh. Okay. Badang nyorok kat bush. Pum. Kan benda tu nampak oh. Simple je. Nampak oh. 2 bar man. Minit 1 siap. Kau buat je tu banyak kali. Okay. Kau buat banyak kali. At some point kan. Masa kau buat tu. Ada Terizla boleh finish ke. Ada Suyu boleh finish ke. Ada Harit boleh finish ke kan. But even kalau tak ada orang finish pun worth the poking. Dan kau boleh buat benda tu kat siapa-siapa je. Tak semesti Zujin kat Gatot ke, Yujong ke. Anyone. Sebab benda tu murah. Kau tak guna ulti kan. Skill 1, skill 2 je dan cooldownnya semua kecil. Tak kena pula. Empat. Kau dah 4 minit tu. Dah 4 minit. Last time dia buat benda tu tadi minit 1:40 siap. Sekali je main dia buat. Aduh. Dah nak masuk 5 minit tu masalahnya. Dah minit. Bro, memang hidup dia. Game ni dia jalan-jalan je siap. Dah minit dah men. 6 minit baru langgar sekali tu. Pakai badang. Like the whole point kau ambil badang sebab sustain. Okay? Cooldown kecil. God nafsu tadi tak ada kena mana. Gorde tu pergi jalan mid, mampus lagi 2 kali pun tak ada kena mana. Kalau macam ini mainnya yang lain. Dua. Dah. 6 minit 30 second baru 2 kali dia langgar orang. How is that possible? How though? Aduh. Ah. 6 minit lama man.
Lose. You also have everything to gain. Game 1 taken by the Phoenix Army.
That was just beautiful. They did very, very worth it. Because you know Lanzu wants to pick that. Right.
That was
a great denial as well. I mean, I was saying it might be a YSS, something very high physical.
Prize pick
for Zyda.
Tak, untuk Terizla tu main, dia kena badang dulu. Badang dulu, buang skillan. Lepas tu Zujin ulti ke belakang ke, Zujin flicker ke, masa tu lah. Dia langgar Claude kan, Claude Puri. Lepas tu Claude monyet ke belakang kan, masa tu lah Terizla akan follow up. Ulti flicker. Lepas tu yang lain cuci lah kan. Suyu ke, Gorde ke, Harit ke. Masalahnya step 1 tu tak jalan-jalan. Mana bau. Saber dia. Let's go. Saber Azuli ya.
I'm gonna say it right now.
Yeah. If it works, it will work really well, especially since it's paired up with a Kali. That is just burst for days. They can't snowball out of control. But then the thing is, they're up against a Hilda that they have to think about.
Dude, this is so funny.
Since dah habis resolution, opinion aku mid dengan bottom table punya team ID dengan my season ni lebih kurang. Lebih kurang and I guess compliment dekat team my yang sebab team my baru buat.
Picking up a Zyda.
Picking up a
Like
Zyda.
season ni baru je
Saber
franchise kan.
picks up Zyda. Zyda picks up
Major
Saber. You know
revamp.
what?
Saber's gonna pick everyone up later.
No, yeah.
Boleh je kat
Level 4.
situ je.
Level 4.
So all in all
Always
likewise je
remember
lah.
2 words.
PH je lah yang
Level 4.
still apa.
It's crazy. It isn't even killing spree.
PH je
Everybody's
yang
going
still
for
dekat
all
dorang
burst.
punya
Gonna pop heads.
Yeah.
dekat dorang punya
He just
level
wanted
yang
damage.
lain
He
lah
wants faster
overall.
abilities after he
Sebab top
uses
team saja ada
the
4 je.
ultimate. Man,
Dude, everybody's waiting for the level 4.
SR equivalent of SRG dengan Oni ID dia ada 3. At least 3 lah. Okay, 4 mungkin banyak lah, 3 lah.
Cameraman's just watching. He's waiting
Dan
for that
that
level
has
4
been
Bro, Zyla
going on
is
for tak tahu
wild
berapa
in. Now he
season
has
lah.
level 4.
See what I mean?
Here he goes.
All right.
Can he go into the side of the wise man? But Tracy and Lancer are tanky members in the early portions of the game. I don't think that's the right targets.
Not
Now he
quite.
shifts his sights towards the bush, waiting for somebody to enter that is squishy enough to give him the first blood.
It actually feels like it's more reasonable for him to go for someone's.
Tracy doesn't want to give it to him. He says, not so fast, my boy. You're going to have to look for something else. The turtle is about to be reset again, but here goes another one of those Throne of Ruins to officially kick things off in this game. Not a first blood for Zyda, but a first blood for Twisted Minds, as they're going to be holding on to this major objective.
Yeah, that was a great take here. Now they're gonna have maximum control. Fremar still in the fight though.
But 3mar doesn't have enough firepower against the 2 members, especially with Retribution coming out from MP the King. It's Twisted, turning things around.
yeah, I mean, as expected, right now they don't have the answers that they need for this Alice, and Lancer can just keep rinsing and repeating what he did there. He doesn't have the flicker, okay, just gleam in, Throne of Ruin, threaten them out. Once you have the flicker, even worse for TNC. So far though, it's good the Zyda hasn't gone down. Oh,
Oh, they're going to go for Tracy.
good call, good call.
That was
Okay,
a
wait.
miss. That now it's
Out. Once you have the flicker,
Look
even
at the
worse for
damage, bro.
TNC. So far though, it's good the Zyda hasn't gone down.
Oh,
Oh,
they're going to go for Tracy.
4 orang.
good call, good call.
That was a miss.
4 orang semua skill
That
hit.
now turned into a conversion
Parah.
in the 3rd minute.
Ooh. In all of this, I was thinking, you know what? Where's the level 4 first blood? We're all thinking that, right? But you know what? It can still come. I think they're just more hesitant to play it, just because you know what? You don't want to give away your body too much. You're a lot squishier at level 4. You
Tak
don't
apa.
wanna
Early game, early game. Early game all in lah.
fall behind in XP.
Terlepas.
Early on.
They're
Terlepas
just-
menangis tadi.
The Phoenix Army proud with this last pick. It's just a surprise. I even have to
Dah
remember the
dreadnought tu.
ultimates. What's
Heal
that
dah
called
je.
again?
Triple sweep.
Triple
Thank you
sweep.
so much. It's been a while since we saw TNC pick this up. I wonder when was the last time that the Saber was picked up, you know?
Probably years.
Probably
ago.
season 10. I don't know.
Probably.
Oh, because it was the Paquito that was picked up. and the
PHTNC
Cuties
dengan
gonna be
brand.
that
Ui!
team, but not.
Oh!
Ada puri tu.
Down. Betty Cutie lives.
Yeah, the
Padahal
burn
dah
wasn't
lepas lah.
enough. So far, we've just been
Nervous.
seeing a lot of farming from Zyda. We're waiting to see when he'll get his first big kill with a triple sweep, but right now, Twisted Minds are keeping themselves scarce as
Waduh,
well.
mana HP legit ni.
In before he doesn't get a kill all game. Just builds tank and just doesn't die.
Yeah, that's what people would call a dark system or something.
That's a dark system.
I don't know if it's still existing to this day. I think Renmar would be the judge of that. Does it still exist? Like dark system picks?
You know what? At this point, I'm more. I was gonna say I'm more chill about it, but then it did crash out earlier. So yeah, the dark system picks are still there.
Aw. Well, that's kind of unfortunate. 3mars here. Burst it down again. Here goes the RWM, and Sean is going to be at least bursted down to a bit, and he might be
Sean!
taken
Oh!
down, but still lives, still stays, but not for long. As
Sabar,
Sean is
sabar,
going to be able to
Oh,
deal
pasal heal pula.
raging
Anjas.
sandstorm to dish out the damage. 3mars going to be
Keluar.
doing the same.
Keluar.
Lansu
No
from
way.
the back looks for the Mamba. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Sean for the price of Shaq.
Kalau Saber.
The savageness doesn't end there. As Zyda looks for Nosha.
Aduh,
He
kalau
wants a
Saber
little
join,
bit more.
join perang hari dia tak turtle aku rasa rata lah.
Gonna be escaping too. TNC leading by 1K.
And remember when you purify
Kalau
the
Saber
triple
ni
sweep,
early
the
game
damage will still
kuat
connect.
gila.
It's just the animation of you getting held up in the air. That's
Satu
what's
Fury
gonna
Hammer
end.
kau basic
The
attack
damage will
pun
still
boleh
go through. So you saw
meninggal.
after that triple sweep, even though Nosha got the purify away, a good chunk of his health was taken out.
Still hurts. That's why it's also just so good to build damage on the Saber no matter what. Again, I would love to see a tank build Saber is eventually maybe. Maybe we can have a utility Saber.
Yeah,
But
but I
right
think-
now, that's what Zyda's looking like.
Yeah, I feel like they're also gonna have to be smarter with their approaches the longer this game goes, because the scaling out of that Saber doesn't really come off so well as much. Sean and Nosha's probably going to be your main target, but Shakno has always been the main target for Twisted Minds. He still is able to escape, but
Dia
going
tak
back,
semudah
Zaida
kau
needs
nak
to get something up quick.
suruh Uni pick lah hero ESP damage untuk Uni. Draft bukan berfungsi macam tu. Kalau ESP tu kau ambil damage dan kau kena balance kan. Kau kena balance kan dekat hero, especially hero roam jungle kau. Million pun boleh juga. So contoh kau nak spam, Bennett only, Pagito only. So kau dah tak ada badan kat situ. Kau dah tak ada initiator. Siapa nak isi ruang? Dia tak juga semudah kalau ESP damage jungle tank ah. Tidak juga. Tidak juga. Sebab dan kau kena pandang dekat trio mid kau pula kan. Apa kau nak lawan, apa kau faham tak? Maksudnya perubahan tu terlalu sangat besar dan training time pun kena ni lah. Nak kena cater lah kepada perubahan tu juga. Dah satu hal pula. Tiba-tiba mid season nak kena tukar, nak kena training a whole different play style, semua macam tu kan, semata untuk ESP yang kena ban 7 match. So resources tak cukup lah. Itulah pendek. Resources, masa dan tenaga. Tapi all in all aku tengok Uni main ESP okey je, tak ada masalah pun. Dia main hero apa Terry ke Povius ke, semua yang dia dah main lah sekarang. Jangan main Uranus je lah. Okey je. Bukanlah ESP gempak ke apa, tapi tak adalah beban. So okey. Aku rasa bukan masalah mekanik. Aku rasa lebih kepada confidence. Confidence bukan confidence dia saja, confidence team dekat dia juga. Nak bermacam sebab kalau boleh kita nak tengok play yang kau pergi tengok klip aku post video SRG yang diorang pergi Hanabi tapi tengok klip yang nombor 2 dia yang Povius dengan Marcel combo tu kan. Itulah yang SRG buat hari-hari dengan Kram. Tapi dengan Uni benda tu tak banyak. Tak banyak. Sebab apa? Sebab tu lah, yelah baru lagi kan. Baru-baru lagi Uni main ESP dengan tim dia. So benda-benda macam tu kita tak nampak selalu kan. So aku cakap Krab ni memang key player sebab dia membuka jalan. Dia membuka jalan untuk tim-tim dia bersinar.
Zaida making the support Saber work. Okay.
So untuk playoff ni honestly aku tak risau sangat dekat SRG. Aku rasa untuk dorang menang satu match boleh kot. Boleh kot.
Mind to cast today, but it still works nevertheless. RWM is going to be there, but doesn't really chunk up as much of the damage for the other members. Instead, it's going to be very dancing, but will eventually be bursted down. Now it's Twisted Minds actually going for the attack as well. Chakno has no choice but to run. Zaida's just going to be using his blades to actually escape, and apparently not because Nosha's going to be there as well. And it's still going to stay alive. Zaida escapes, but not for long because of the gourd coming out from Sean. Now it's going to be Lansu dashing away. 3mar's going to be chasing them yet again. But MP the King waiting for the right opportunity to burst out Chakno, and he falls down. MP the King making the most out of it. Stum is going to be putting the punish on MP as well. A lot of things happening in the Lord pit.
Tak, Saber ni pening, dia tak ada opening. Dia nak main hero macam Saber ni, dia kena ada orang buat benda sih. Ni pergi buat kuning ni buat apa je. Aduh. Kalau kau nak Saber tu yang pergi dulu memang meninggal lah Saber tu siap. Dia kena ada orang buat haruk dulu. Yang kau
it's
tengok
like he's
Hazel
walking
main
in
tu.
slow motion. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
Ya,
He's
timnya
using himself as bait.
buat
trying to
haruk.
make
Lepas tu
Twisted
dia
come
baru
up
dia
with a
pergi.
play on their own. Instead of using the triple
Tak, dia
sweep to
bukan buka
initiate,
map je. Dia
they're doing
kena
it
buat
now.
haruk tu, maknanya kau exhaust skill enemy
Tough
sikit kau.
situation for Zyda right now because the skill
Ada bagi Alis alti ke,
for him, unable to get his first
kalau dia
kill.
guna
That's why
monyet ke,
Red
Heal
Horse was
dah
wondering,
habiskan
why
skill
is it
2
gonna
dulu
happen?
ke.
Apparently in the first 10
Something
minutes,
lah.
it didn't.
Yeah, but MP the King and Nosha
Kau ada
will
purify
have
pun
to
kiri.
time their
Lode.
entries well, and I think that's why they locked in the Saber. This is probably something that they were thinking of showing maybe in the playoffs if ever they made it there as a response to the Harley, as a response to the Claude. Let's see if we'll get that moment again. We've already seen it twice. Nay, 3 times it happened.
Phoenix Army says, let me show you what you've missing, or what you've been missing. TNC holding on to a 2.5k gold lead. Nosha only the lone Twisted Mind showing himself. Lansu is right there behind the grass towards the Lord Pit. Tracy's gonna be pushing inside. Shaknu doing the same thing. Zyda's gonna be bursting down
Gila
again.
sibuk.
And that's gonna be
Kau
the
ingat
first
kau
casualty
main-
coming out for the Phoenix Army.
Kau main Basia ke? Gila betul siap.
Mind showing himself. Lansu is right there behind. the grass
Kau
towards
tengok
the
bodoh
Lord Pit.
saber ni.
Tracy's
Ho.
gonna be pushing inside. Shaknu doing the same thing.
Gila.
Down again. And that's gonna be the first casualty coming out for the Phoenix Army. Knockup coming out from the Lord. But Nosha's gonna be taken down as
Zyda
well.
tak reti jadi dak
3
sistem
more
ah.
now looking for the push. Lansu backs away,
Tak
but
tahu
MP
ke
the King is
saber
not
dak
yet
sistem
done.
main macam mana.
You
Duduk
wanna
bush je
make
bro.
sure the horse is gonna pay
Duduk
for
bush
what
AFK man.
happened. Twisted
Sampailah
Minds
ada window
still
baru keluar
holding
tau.
on to this.
My monitor. Okay, that was weird. And when not that.
This is the time for them to actually strike. Shakno sees the target. One is forced to flicker away. That's a major resource upon that next Lord Siege.
Yeah, so his farming really well. He's been counter jungling really tough.
It's a tough checklist. At the same time, it doesn't feel impossible right now. Keeping Zyda alive is priority number 1. I'm pretty sure Fremar knows that. He's like, presidential bodyguard at this point, Secret Service. And, oh, there you go, Queen's Wings. I was looking for these. Maybe I would have liked it earlier here for Zyda. Again,
Better late than never.
better late than never. And again, if you can survive long enough,
To
you
see
might
yourself
have a
become the
chance.
villain?
No,
No, it's just
that's
them
just
going at it.
It's just TNC things at this
It's just TNC things.
All right.
Looking at the Saber again. Zyda nowhere to be found. Tracy looking for him proactively. Chaknu the only one showing himself. Lansu
Hiding.
3mar doing the same. Almost half health coming out from the Lord. But the 3 damage dealers from Twisted Minds are not really showing themselves. As of this moment, Chaknu found that Nosha was there upon that little minion or little jungle objective. Now it's going to be the rest of the members. Tracy's going to be found out. No Zaman Force yet to be released. It's still just a dance that was very important for these 2 teams.
Really good dancing here by Twisted Minds. They're doing everything they can to get a lot of information so that Lansu can call for a play. TNC are protecting their side of the jungle though. So yeah, it's just dead even.
It's really good control, especially now that you see Chaknu just roving around. They know that, Remar can hold this all day long.
Yeah.
All they need to look for is MP, and he's not showing.
Yeah, and you see Lansu holding more the beard bush right behind the Lord Pit because he knows that's actually the best angle that Zyda can come through. And he checks it, so now they know where Zyda is.
And this is the idea that they want to go for. Zyda finally showing himself after quite some time. Tracy also
Sabernya tak boleh
looking
nak
to get
duduk
all the
bush
information
tu.
that he needs. 3mar doing the same. There comes
Oh,
the burst down.
tinggal.
And 3mar probably wasn't ready for it.
Dia tak jumpa tu. Dia pergi kiri kena bola gorde.
Now the counter-attack comes in.
Dia pergi kanan kena dengan Alice.
But it will also come into a halt.
So aku rasa cara dia terbaik dia kena pergi cuci wave bawah tu.
Not really the finishing touches.
Lepas tu dia kena datang dari belakang lah.
It's a huge headache right now, and the name is Alice.
Here goes half health. 3mar chunked
Penalti Alice ni aku rasa ni.
half, or maybe 25% of his HP, and then there goes Latsu again. But Zyda
Weh, dia dapat bunuh
distribution
tadi.
before he dies. Now the RWM is
But at what cost, my dude?
It's gonna be dishing some damage, but he will also be taking damage himself.
At what cost?
To be a slight disaster for TNC. TNC Pro Team as 3mar and Benny backs away. Good thing Zaida has the retribution.
As we see Twisted barreling down on top in mid.
Oh, another throne of ruin coming out from Lansu.
Tiga kereta
Probably
tu.
the biggest one in this series.
Ni ke?
3mar doing his best. Benny out in the back, looking to defend still as 3mar taking the brother the damage comes out of the blazing duet and he is gonna
Terus
be going
enter.
down.
Kuning ni useless
Same goes
bodoh.
for Benny Cutie.
Useless,
Zaida the only
useless.
one left alone. The trump card. Can he be able to protect
Tak,
their
Saber ni
lair?
jadi tak boleh nak main
Apparently
sebab
not
dia
as
tak ada
much.
ESP lane, kau tahu tak?
Yeah, but it's not gonna be enough.
Tak ada
Twisted
ESP!
Bids TNC at you. Moving on to the playoffs.
Aduh. Selesai, GG. Brempo kalah. Yuk. Haya aja. What the fuck? Baru ni nak miring. Terjadi bro. Ada hayau. Sebab ni bukan ni kan. Ni bukan FunWest kan?
Lepas kalah haya tu dawang.
Kan? Aku rasa bukan FunWest lah. Ni dia tiga.
They made them work for it. But Twisted Minds will be able to... Great pickups by AP Brent, surprising. They're not falling into the trap of picking up the Marcel right away. And I agree.
Remember,
Tak nak tengok how they make it work.
Maybe they could go for... We gotta keep this going.
Ini secure apa dekat Falcon.
Falcons needs something.
Dan elimination brand juga kan?
They're just
oh, that for last.
yeah, okay, at least move.
Tak bagi urus suyu kan.
Gord, you have
Siang
the
pangkas.
ability. Remember, Gord
Sabar suruh menunjuk sangat.
And then sort of relying on your opponents not being
Salah sendiri ke? Salah sendiri.
Could just pick up the assassin for brackets. So AP Bren.
Elimination brand dekat Omega dengan Aurora.
Obviously for people who would love to
Kau kat
watch
sini
in terms of the plot, this
Sebab
is
Omega
the
menang
squad
satu game.
that you would want seeing
Tak lah, maknanya
here
bottom line
in this
ini
specific
bukan fun
series
match lah kan.
in order to make it one step closer towards the playoffs.
load up into game number 1.
let's see how Nova and Aqua can fare against this Khalid and Valentina.
Aduh, Emblem Assassin lah.
Typical
Ini.
build-up on the Irithel. Gets the Assassin Emblem set, Master Assassin, Fatal, to really focus on the crit and the damage. Take a good look at the health bars throughout this phase when we don't get to see the gold lane a lot.
Alright, so right now, obviously, it's going to be a bit of a hard
Yep.
laning phase here for Shizu. I think one of the reasons why the Airfield just doesn't get picked up as much. But I wonder, is this what Coach G was talking about earlier, that we're going to be so surprised? I'm not sure what the surprise factor is with the Airfield.
Well, we're just about to find that out later on, because the scaling of that Irithel doesn't come until maybe somewhere around 10 minutes or so.
Takes a
Shout out
while.
to our streamers who are currently watching this game. That's Chai Gaming for you, one of our local content creators. Shizu, on the other hand, is having quite of a difficult time against Super Marco, but the freeze is going to be helping as well. Oakwin dished out in terms of the damage, cut up to half of his health, but James Banks not being able to convert.
Yeah, so far good management of the roam mid trading here by Nova and Aqua. Able to match the aggression of Ogwin and Haji. Tough boots. First one for the high loss. Similar to Ogwin, so both teams respecting the amounts of crowd control.
Okay. Good mobility. Decides not to go for Elegant Gem earlier. That means they just want to have more map control instead of survivability here.
Yeah. By the way, Shizu has like 150 PPM right now.
I
on his
mean,
heart
in
rate.
theory,
Super Marco's just under
Haya
100.
lawan Gordil lawan Iritel memang seronok ah.
Yeah, that's the early game for you.
Tapi tu lah, sampai ke?
Was kind of dealing with the damage imagine that's going to be the first blood going to
Itu
James
soalan dia.
Banks.
Tu jelas
Ooh,
contoh
shadow
lah
kill
tu.
from Kyle is only going to be cutting Nova to half. This is a win for AB Brand.
Yang pro player kan memang flicker dulu kan. Ush, Katolik. Anjir. Anjir.
But then KLVJ is going to be doing the same thing with the throw
Fitri.
and killing one of his own.
Nah.
Kyle doing the same. Double kill for the Valentina. Hachi is doing everything he can, but James Banks still able to take it. KLVJ is going to be able to escape, but Falcons are holding on to a 400 gold lead.
Ooh, so trying to survive, but barely. And there goes that Deadly Magic again. Oakland's going to have to get used to that.
Yeah, lots of kill trades, but AP Brand walk away with 2. James Banks gets 2 and gets the turtle as well. He's still getting marked by Ogren in the map though with his rotations.
Ayah dulu ya.
Kyle uses retribution
Ayah hari ini.
earlier in the sequence, if I'm not mistaken. It was still on cooldown at some point. Excuse me, that might have been his shadow kill.
Oh, wait.
All right.
He's already used the retribution. I mean, James Banks was going for the kill, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, so far so good here, at least for our gold lane debut pick. Still alive, still not dying, although it is not getting as much attention as we thought it would. I was expecting it was going to get ganked to oblivion, but somehow, yeah, just surviving, that's key. For AB Brand, slow and steady wins the race here.
Ada tak suka selection player Walking Negara?
Off this game with 2.
Tak tahu lah man.
Remember, there's a reason why I put a lot of focus onto his Valentina. He just times it so well. He knows what ultimate to get at the right time. Wouldn't be surprised if at some point we might even see him cosplaying as the
Sebab aku personally pun aku memang
Oh, that's crazy.
tak kisah sangat tournament yang bukan club.
Now it's just
Sebab dorang punya training session tak cukup lama. So pilihlah siapa-siapa pun tak peduli siapa. Siapa champion ke apa ke, honestly don't care.
Is AP Brand just trying to make sure that they don't get invaded?
Hanya kisah
blocking out those
MSC dan M Series.
Entrance. Yeah. Sorry. What's a jungle?
Yang lain semua tournament selingan.
A jungle hole.
It's a hole in the jungle. Right,
a hole in the jungle. Again, going into this turtle pit once more. 50% of the HP. KLVJ faces Flap. There goes the Raging Sandstorm as well. And it might just be Kyle getting this turtle again. Now KLVJ, can he be able to do something here? Flap just roaming around, trying to at least distract the rest of the members of AP Brand, but they will now be setting their sights on him, and he will be going down.
Tapi Haya tak main lagi ya, geng.
For a major objective, Team
Kali 5 minit masih belum main lah.
Good thing that AP Brand, instead of just fully giving up the sequence, they decided to see
Kalau dulu. Langsung saja. Kalau dulu ah. Depan sikit lagi dah sampai ah. Sekarang, alalalala, comel.
Enam shadow. Kalau berjalan pun sampai.
But no damage seen. Ogwen with a barricade.
I know if you guys feel it, but James Banks feels like he's just like 2 seconds out of tempo, out of timing every time a team fight occurs. Maybe
Justice
he's just
for
getting
Ketot.
outmaneuvered here so far
Okay.
by Kyle, who seems to be having just a
Ketot
field day
busa.
on this Hayabusa.
Look at this, Ogwen biting off a little more than he could chew. Even the prayer is not gonna save him from the gush.
True damage is making its mark, bro.
Yes.
That's what Red Mars was talking about earlier. That true damage can really take you by surprise.
Well, in the last one, James Banks was ready for the turtle. It's just that Ogwen looked like he landed the easiest Raging Sandstorm in his entire career, as James Banks was just standing there. It's like, all right, I can see turtle. Oh, nope, the Scully is up on me. And AP Brand, they decided to scatter away from their parley, managed it. Yeah, James Banks went down, but again, as we mentioned earlier, or at least he didn't go down, at least they were able to get a kill. So him picking up the Bloody Retribution is good as well, gets him just a little bit more HP that he could steal away from the members of Falcons, makes him tankier.
Yeah, I definitely will need that later as well, right? There's just so much fade-away damage as well, coming in from like the shadow kill, and if Baji decides to chase after you.
Yeah, and this is going to be the
This game is
Battle Mage Harley That's going to be a brute force
Anti-strike
breastplate,
warrants.
it looks like, for the second item.
Me likey. We're gonna see a lot of presence for James here. Now they're sending.
This is going to be the battle.
You know.
A lot of damage too coming out from both teams. 60% is the turtle HP. It's gonna be Ogwen again, flickering away from that. It's gonna be a major turtle reset. But just to have a bit style,
here.
KLBJ is gonna be facing flap.
Alalala.
From the back.
Alalalala.
KLBJ is gonna be facing flap.
Alalala. Is this the end? Boleh buat ni oh, boleh buat masuk bersamamu oh. Borian. Kau nak dekat mana lagi tu? Ya dah dekat dah tu, tak sampai juga siap. Macam mana man? Sama dengan Harley. Masalahnya kitnya berbeza kan. Macam Harley tak perlu connect kan shadow. Blink je lah kan. Haya masalahnya memang sekarang kau kena connect shadow tu untuk extra damage. Haiya. Kalau kau sebagai owner nak lepaskan tak player,
Panjangkan
wakil
shadow
MSC
depan
pada
jumper
masa sama
jadi
kena
lah.
join national. Oh memang tidak ah. Bro, SRG dah belajar daripada 8 orang oh. Diorang penat. Okay. Sebab itulah dia cakap kali ni. Kan patutnya kan last time kan diorang tak nak kan. Betul? Yang last year punya kan diorang dah cakap diorang tak nak. Tapi diorang join juga betul? So aku rasa this year betul-betul lah diorang tak nak join. Mungkin lah. Ini konspirasi teori lah. Mungkin last year masih yang diorang cakap tak nak tu. Diorang di pressure. Maybe ada yang pressure. Ada yang apa? Ada yang memujuk-mujuk
Target champion you.
untuk SRG join sebab nak bagi menangan. So season ni mungkin SRG dah keras lah cakap tahu dah penat-penat. Kita nak bawa balik MSC dengan M Series.
Once again, Kyle from the back is going to be Flap still at the front lines. Look at the shot.
Lagi sekali ya guys, lagi sekali.
It's going to be a major turtle
Lagi sekali.
But just
Oh,
to have
oh,
it
oh,
set,
oh,
KLBJ is
oh,
going to be facing Flap once again. Kyle from the back
oh.
is going to be Flap still at the front
Hai
lines.
busa.
Look at the shot.
Sanjo.
KLBJ is going to be taking the turtle. James Fox is going to be taking the damage. Same
Aura
time,
minus
KLBJ is using
1000.
the flicker to get out of that situation. So with no casualties, AP
Hey, monton.
Clean non-fight.
Tahulah apa masalah kau
You gotta appreciate their patience here. Nova's making the most out of his revitalize. He didn't even need to use it mid-fight. I believe it was near the tail end of it. But Falcons will be able to break the tower in mid first.
And they wanted to go for it, but instead it's a major blunder as Flap.
Break the tower in mid first.
And they wanted to go for it, but instead it's a major.
Is this the end? Kalau kau sebagai Haya,
As Flap falls,
apa perasaan kau?
mid lane turret, but it is the price of 2 lives coming out from the Falcons as they've lost their wings. AP Bren, the Bees are looking to punish them even more from their crucial mistakes.
Bukan
as
kalau kau
Falcons
main
are
Haya,
down
bukan.
500
Engkau Haya.
War axe for the Hayabusa.
Tak, bukan kau play Haya. Engkau Haya, hero.
Still, AP Brand are making the most out of their trades as these late.
Woi, tak ada mood.
The usage of the
Depresi
heavy
je.
cross, having that still late into the fight after Falcons have tossed a good amount of their abilities.
So
is
close
what's changing
yet
the
so
tide
far,
here for
bukan?
AP Brand.
So close.
I'm really
Yet
starting to see what the
we'll
surprise
never reach.
factor is here that for AP Brand. Why this you know, how
Never.
this Airfel could actually work. It's really good at following up whoever gets
Harley
hit
je
with the deadly
botol
magic.
Brufos
And
baik.
that target just gets removed so quickly.
Dengan
So I think
retri
they can really leverage that.
purple ni.
All AP Bren is doing here.
Fastest
Wah.
background lagu
Time,
Titanic.
they're waiting for the items.
Dia cuak sangat ke dia
It's
shadow dengan
important to
Haya
take
ke?
note of Shizu's items right now. I think he's on the way to his third. That is
Dia cuak sangat ke dengan Haya
Think
ketot
about
ni?
it, 3-0-1 on that Eerie.
Yeah, like
Dah
as soon
9
as
minit tadi
everyone
impact
started
bodoh
running
Hayanya.
out of gas, that's where Shizu would come in very handy. So again, Team Falcons is
Kosong
gonna be
impact
transitioning
dok.
to what they are used to do, working on their macros, fixing some things in order for them to get a little bit of a lead against AP Bren. They were able to take a turret down bottom.
Dia tak nak malukan
so this is
Haya.
gonna be helping them towards the Turtle Siege, leading by 400 gold, and seems like
terkeluar push.
is gonna be the main suspect here. They don't know that.
Wow, shadow hit!
Again, using that
Tapi dekat high loss bro.
It's also
Tu
Shizu
masalah dia. Ha.
to actually help
Kau main hero assassin ni, kau bukan nak lock shadow ataupun kau nak lock hero tank enemy. Kau nak hero backline. So sebabkan shadow dia ketot, nak pergi ke backline tu. Oi.
So now the hesitation of Falcons to fight. Because if Aqua still has the Mystic Gush and the Irithel is pressed forward, they can't fight, they can't dive.
But that's the thing though, 2 of AP Brens no longer have their ultimates. Meanwhile, it's still a full slate for Team Falcons with a 50% HP bar on this first Lord of the game. Will they be able to reset it? The answer is yes. This is the calm before the storm.
Yeah, that's the reset they needed to get Kyle into a good position. They also need to manage those waves. James Tang's already doing that on the bottom as well. Ooh. And now he's getting a purple stolen.
Yeah, that's a great decision there. By
Bukan, dia
Kyle.
ada
Someone who was
Haya.
also so when he was playing the Saber, because of the minion wave up top, getting pushed in for
Haya.
has the space to actually play that.
Nanti.
Gonna be bursting
Ah,
down Ogwen.
langsung.
Just gonna use a raging sandstorm to get out of there. Kyle making the most out of those nothing fights where they have now
Tak ada Gorde, tak ada Harley.
in the situation.
What are we waiting for?
Ooh, purple nowhere to be found.
He checked it. Where is it? Oh, okay.
It seems like AP Brand understand just
Yeah,
how much
aku
weight
sangat
the
pelik
Mystic Gush has. The ultimate of that Gourd. In a team fight, they're going to be playing around its cooldown timers. Core items locked in for the Battle Mage Harley. Divine Glaive third.
They're looking to burst this down since they saw that Kyle is at top, but it's still going to be Haji taking it for the
Villain
team.
dapat.
It's Slap now dishing the damage, and Shizu in front, and Ogwen is looking to help out in the party as well.
Oi!
Flap and kill BJ as well. Haji making the crucial play, and kill
Ini mah
BJ.
bukan Falcon yang bantai dulu ni, aku rasa macam brand yang oleng babi.
For the Battle Mage Harley. Divine
Kena Harley je tak dapat bodoh.
Gonna burst this down since they saw that Kyle is at top.
Maret anjing.
But it's still gonna be Haji taking it for the team. It's Slap.
Mage Harley. Divine
Kali
Glaive
bukan ada
third.
ulti pun.
They're looking to burst this down since they saw that Kyle is at top.
Obvious pun lambat sial. Oleng bodoh brand.
Now dishing the damage, and Shizu in front, and Ogwen is looking to help out in the party as well.
Aduh.
Haji's best for season 17.
Oh my
So ironic. It's a copied Throne of Ruin that did the biggest impact so far in terms of these two.
Imposter is on site. It's Haji, and he means business. Now it's gonna be Ogwen Owen.
Ooh, that's a great bait.
That's still a solid take. Kyle.
Aku tak boleh lah. Setiap kali Haya ni shadow kan. Dia macam buat-buat ada je bodoh.
But actually,
Sudahlah, aku rasa memang tak valid lah Haya sekarang.
you give more focus to
Memang
all
impossible lah nak guna.
But make sure that you have some movement abilities ready for Super Marco's entry with the Blazing Duet. Here's a conceal.
Y'all heard that.
Ogwen's looking for something. He might go with a raging Satsarm to 3. What a play coming out of Ogwen. He's gonna be able to take. Might go with a raging Satsarm to 3.
Bro! Ay, macam ni, macam pijak kulit pisang. Kau tahu tak?
A play coming out of Ogwen. He's gonna be able to take Aqua down, and the rest of AP
Pijak
Bren
kulit
with it.
pisang.
Goes down, and AP Bren falls back.
Maybe kalau dia revert balik nerf okey kot.
From the Falcons.
Nerf damage maksud aku.
A bad case of deja vu.
Biar je
Wasn't
stack
it
dia dah boleh naik laju macam dulu.
Similar play against AP Bren in the
So tak demand sangat untuk shadow hit untuk kau dapatkan damage yang apa?
So good with that one. Again,
Untuk kau dapatkan damage yang optimal.
maximizing the conceal as well.
Now they're looking to protect their
Then maybe
inhibitors.
okay lah.
It's gonna be out
Maksudnya
of
kau
sound.
shadow macam tadi tu kan. Walaupun tak hit
For
tapi
no
asal
one,
sampai.
Shizu just at the back.
So kau first kill kau ulti kan.
The damage instead. It's just gonna be a little too much to bear as Team Falcons looking to push inside. But look at KLVJ, terrified by
Sebab
Hachi.
masalah dia sekarang combo.
Keep him at bay.
Memang combo optimal dia early ke mid game. Memang demand ni shadow hit ke?
No casualties
Kau tak
at all.
shadow hit memang geli-geli je.
That could have been so
Damage.
much worse. Falcon's able to get out without a scratch and can actually reposition to this Lord is massive.
Yeah, the bad part is the minion waves don't look good in the side lanes for AP Brand. If ever they full fight this, it's all or nothing. They're a bit more calculated with it.
But are they aware of this? It's going to be James Banks now moving forward, but Kyle still gets it. Now for the great escape. James Banks is looking for
Oi,
it, but instead,
mana
the
flicker
crossover
dia.
might not work, but he still has
Keras
to
bola
win.
early.
Now it's going to be Shizu looking at the breadth of the damage using for more of those free hits. Flap is going to be taking it. Look at the back. Shizu takes down Flap, but Ogwen cut down.
Tapi aku rasa Haya tak dari tadi tak sampai-sampai lagi lah. Dekat Iri dengan Gordon ni je dok.
AP Bren did
Marco only that they have been lacking.
That was already an insane play, man. Ogun was relentless against James, and somehow James survives the perks of being a battle mage Harley.
And this is the thing though. They kind of have a little
Mati.
bit more time as
Ui, hampir.
Kyle trimmed down to only 5% of his HP. It was a close call for the jungler. A deep
You know what? Item.
position every corner of entry that the beast would come from.
3 Winter Crowns for Falcons, 1 on Flap, 1 on Haji, and 1 on Super Marco.
BOD ah Haya.
That
Saya
extra bit of survivability might be the difference maker here. The Falcons going for the rush. AP Brand doesn't know.
Dude, guess what?
Hanya numpang. Dulu dia tak ada buat apa.
Look at where Ogwen is positioning again. Is AP Bren aware of this situation? Ogwen
Tadi je lah kot.
is just gonna
Yang kat
show
blue buff.
himself. This is a clean
Shadow
take
tak sampai
from
Harley
Team
tapi
Falcons.
dapat kill tu.
Yeah, they were very happy to just take that so quickly. They knew they had
Itu
that
pun
both.
macam
They
lebih
knew
kepada
they had the
supporting
advantage.
je.
And you know what? Zero vision.
Bukan main
I don't know
character.
who's gonna do the checking, but Nova's just not it. I don't think Nova can actually sustain that much damage. Yeah.
Support dah gitu-gitu je lah.
The members of Falcons, it's just I think they acknowledge that they couldn't get close enough. And because of how
Tak, dia
fast
macam kalau
Falcons were able to
Falcon,
clear James Banks and
Okay,
AP Brand,
Kyle
probably
bawa
just
pun
went
tak
back
tak
off.
pergi.
GDS locked in
Apatah
for
lagi
Shizo.
orang lain je.
Some movement speed so that he can get around them. Conceal.
Maknanya orang cakap cukuplah data tu
He's gonna be the one taking
Cukuplah
the
data
damage,
tu
but
untuk
still
memberi
able to escape.
untuk membuat conclusion
Wasted
yang
skills
Haya ni
now
memang
for
dah tak
AP
relevan
Bren,
dah.
unable to convert on that one, but the siege continues. Team Falcons holding on to an 8k gold lead. This might be Haji now holding on to another Throne of Ruin. We're waiting for the time for him to strike.
Sunday.
Instead, it's going to be KLVJ only catching Ogwen, and now they're going to be setting their sights on him. Instead, they go to Flap, fronting, taking, looking, shooting, and then gonna be dealing the damage again. But look at Shizu staying alive in the midst of it all. Flap is going to be
Sakit
jumping
je.
using the Infernal Pursuit, but he will go down as well. James Banks, Aqua, now
The
they're all the
downfall
ones in
are
the chase.
crazy men.
Super Marco's going to be
Oh,
backing away, and in
crazy.
spite of them losing all of their inhibitors, the bees are
Tanci,
still standing.
Link,
I was wondering
Haya,
why KLVJ couldn't
Trifecta.
use the flicker when he initially brought out that Throne of Ruin, that flicker Throne of Ruin.
Trio mount. Tapi bukan untuk
It's just
enemy.
Inhibitor siege all over again.
Yeah, think about that. That is not a Oracle laden Kali. That is just the strength of his second skill. There's no Oracle on him.
And that's what you see, right? That's what you get.
Tak ada
You
Wind
get
Talker,
a
ah,
Khalid
Iri.
so early on. Just slap on a Radiant Armor, and you're
Dia
pretty
lancip
much
sekarang.
just a regenerating
Ah.
monster. And that's something that's a
Lancip
little
sekarang,
hard
dia
for
macam
both
Aulus.
parties to deal with. That's why that matchup is so good.
Kau
But right
kena
now, if you're talking about the
stack lu.
KLVJ, like,
Kau
why
kumpul stack
they're-
Warex
they
lu,
didn't
kau
go for
kumpul
the
stack
Flare
first
Gate,
skill kan. Baru kau boleh
they
main
just
lah.
wanted Ogwen, probably, right?
Masalahnya dalam pro
They just
game
wanted to get
benda
rid
tu
of this Khalid who was just giving so much for Shizu
dia
to
dah kena
pick
main
up.
macam ni, dah kena main hijau macam contoh lot dekat atas kan. Hijau jangan bantai ah.
If it's not the
Sebab dia kena masuk perang tu dia tengah full stack ah.
It's just that there's just so
Kalau masuk perang tu Warrior kosong, first kill kosong, lepas tu baru kau nak singsing kan. Sebab Warrior lambat.
Been all in by AP Brand.
Okay, contohlah kau singsing kau dapat 3 kan. Kau tak dapat 4 lah, kau dapat 3 kan. Lepas tu kau terus triangle.
It's gonna be
Damage
really
tak
difficult
masuk
for
men.
them to push.
Sebab Warrior kau masa tu baru setengah je.
At that point, Falcons can just throw bodies. But they're handling the macro really well. Both side lanes getting pushed towards the AP Brand side. A minion wave, a small little minion in mid.
The bees are
So
gonna have to make a
konklusinya
choice.
Monton
Kyle
memang
is
tak
still
suka hero
nowhere
assassin
to
lah.
be found, and Team Falcons are holding on to this. Shizu is in a very
Developer Monton
dangerous corner.
main rank kena
And it seems
bantai.
like
Combo
Haji is
combo.
smelling something.
Joke selesai ah. Aku rasa itu
Is
memang
this
real lah.
bound to
Oh,
happen?
oh no.
Ogwen is gonna be right there.
Wah!
Shizu, he has been compromised
Ui, tak
here.
babi tak
Now,
mati
he
lah.
will be able to escape through the
Kan
help of
bakal
KLBJ,
meninggal.
but look at where Kyle is at. They're gonna have to go back. They're gonna have to make a choice, and that is exactly what Aqua is gonna be doing. Same could be said for James Banks. They backed away, so it means it's an all-5 lineup for Team Falcons, and with that, the rest of the Bees are gonna be going away unless they go for the fight once again.
It's a very open Lord here. Who is going to go take it? No. It's still a no-go here for AP Red. They're fighting it up.
Hold up, it's gonna be a KLBJ Throne of Ruin again, but look at that. Flap just right behind, using the Winter Crown, evading.
Woi!
Again, Shizu
Gila gila.
going down. What a
Velanya.
the machine that you are.
Wow wow.
Haji again.
First shadow hit ke tu?
Shizu popping off the ultimate.
Gempak
First shadow hit ke?
menghadapi fight ni.
Going down.
Ke Gorde?
What a
Wow.
the machine that you
Wow.
are.
Babi lah Velen tu.
Going away unless they go for the fight once
Dia
again.
ulti beli kalis ke?
Very open Lord here. Who is going to go take it? No. It's still a no-go
Ila,
here
ila,
for AP
impak.
Red. They're fighting it up.
Hold up, it's gonna be a KLBJ
Tengok
Throne
bodoh
of
Velen
Ruin
ni.
again, but look at that. Flap just right behind, using
Oh,
the Winter
betul.
Crown, evading.
Oh, walaupun dia tekan ulti Alice, dia still boleh guna skill 2 dia Anjas.
Look at that.
Kau tengok dia ulti, dia skill 2 dia flicker.
Using the Winter Crown.
Serong.
Awak boleh dah.
Dia dash 2 kali pun tu. Lepas tu dia terus winter. Anjas.
Shizu popping off the ultimate and immediately going down. What a
Ay ay ay.
machine that you are, finishing it off for AP.
Okay, aku baru tahu lah.
Flapping their wings for a win in game number 1.
20 minit. Hayamnya shadow sekali je kena kat Gorde.
So boleh ahni Alice XP pick Valenco.
They're supporting its
Maybe.
Doubling down on
Eh,
marksman again.
Bray, tak nak play off.
that's
Tak nak play off,
also
tak nak play
the
off.
carry being taken out, which leaves
Tak nak play off. Semangat nak play off tu tak ada. Macam mana?
AP Red, that's a problem.
Ah, ni combo-combo najis ni.
because it could be
Frag
helpful
glue
against the
Tapi
Fredrin
bukan
duo.
dengan Valen lah.
We're slowly seeing the
Dia
Marshall
frag
just
glue
go
dengan
down
mesh.
further and further
Mesh long
into
range.
priority.
EV ke yang boleh poking. Zujin ke, Vale ke, Lilia
Big,
ke.
I'm sure if you want to do it. And this is one of those picks where you can't do any
Uranus
wrong here.
Marcel,
Alice will grab from both
memang.
sides. I would say Shizu maybe
With the urine.
Cuyu dia memang tak ada apa lah bro.
imminent if they win this game.
Okay. Ooh, James Banks goes for the purple beetle into lizard route. Interesting. Alright. Will he be able to take it away? He does. So he's gonna be hitting level 4 before Kyle, most likely.
Okay, so that's one way to slow down the Fredrin. Obviously, there's not much you can do to slow it down except speed yourself up.
Boleh
On the side,
skip kot
though,
XP gitu.
Lap could be in trouble, but decides to just back off for now. So, interesting path from James. What's the logic between that, though? Like, why are you just trying to XP out, or are you trying to get like better momentum?
Because you know that the Fredrin's gonna hit level 4 through the lizard. Didn't get the beetle, the 4 is there, so at least you mark it and you know that that's where he's gonna be showing up. Meaning that he will most likely just go back into the mid lane or hover around and get vision here. Arlott had to go back and help him get with the lizard. KLVJ expects that the Fredrin's gonna be there, so it's just a good mark.
Yeah, it feels like it's
Corner
pushing the
impact.
Fredrin into a certain direction. At least AP Red knows what that direction is. That might be an advantage.
Now, with that being said, less than 10 seconds before the first turtle, this game actually spawns 4 members of AP Bren. Are right back down. No casualties for both of the teams so far in this game. Shizu and Super Marco simply getting as much cannon minions as they can, and the waves
Wah,
are going
dah
to happen.
17
Now
bulan
Nova
super
level
fan
3.
bersama
Same
host.
could be said for Ogwen and Haji.
Nah.
That golden hour. And
Terima
Nova
kasih, ya.
still doesn't have it yet, so this is going to be a problem moving forward. As
Tinggal.
Kelvin is going to be taking a burst of
Oi.
damage again, but stuns from Nova as he's going to be utilizing with that final slash as well. Now it's going to be Aqua, Crimson Beacon, lifting Ogwen a little bit closer to the bees, but still no casualties. Who'll be taking this first hurdle? The answer is going to be figured out in a later bit, because again, first blood going on to KLVJ, and And James Banks has taken control of the very first
Lagi dah
turtle.
lagi
It's
ya,
a
Fred
win for
level 4
Bees.
memang lembut macam mesh tu.
Long dance, flap of the final slash. But AP Brand will continue this aggression here. KLVJ on the Uranus is applying so much pressure.
But he continues
Bro.
to annoy. Fortunately for Team Falcons, they were able to
So,
get
bro.
it. I'm just wondering as to who
What?
gets it. Because again, it didn't go to Kyle.
Dah ada King Koneng pun salah
Oh,
wado-wado.
hardly dapat.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
What a surprise!
Weird stuff is happening right now for Falcons. I think they might be
Koneng
a little bit of
memang
disarray
lah.
here.
Dia minit 2, minit
We're,
4 ni,
just trying to
itu
find
je
out
zaman
how
dia.
that broke up, but that was a
Okay.
big bump for AP Brand.
Itu memang tak boleh nak sangka. Minit 2 lah especially. Memang dia, memang wow. Okay. Memang keras. Memang
Every use of his first skill. He knows that if
Tapi
he did that
lepas
little
tu,
trick with the
man,
Marcel,
useless.
never caught in the golden hour. Just toss out all your first skills so that once the golden hour's gone, the animation continues and it's a big burst of damage. He just decided to hold on to
Tak
it.
baik
because
cakap
he knows
macam
it's a
tu.
deterrent for the team,
Baik
a good way
tu.
for them to be able to take that Fredrin down.
Okay, so far so good at least. You know, AP Brand are able to control this mid river very efficiently.
Hey,
They've got
Udil,
a majority of
congratulations,
the
ah.
rippers right now for Falcons in the middle.
Champion
As they
minggu ni,
make
okay?
the kickoff happen, but
Sila
we
DM
all know
saya.
that's it's a pretty difficult
Untuk
thing. Now they're
manis-manis.
trying to focus on bottom. And maybe they can, you know, pick off Haji in a weird position, but so far, Falcons are keeping it tight.
Yeah, this is a
Ila-ila
really smart
dadu warrior
approach
Udin.
coming out from AP Brand. They're just waiting for the right time to strike, and Super Marco is going to be taking the damage.
Senyap-senyap
And even
siap
those
Udin.
long-range shots coming out from
Disita.
Shizu, but he's still
Ah,
okay,
boleh jadi
using
sih.
that extra
Tapi kau
for him
ada
to
dalam
be able to
friendly
stay
Sakura kan?
alive. Now everybody's gonna be
Ah,
setting
ni
their
minggu ni
sights
aku nak bagi ni,
towards
aku nak
that
bagi
turtle.
Barca
James
punya
Banks and
tu.
KLVJ, even
Barca
after
punya
joining
pas.
the party against Kyle
Kau dah ada
and
belum?
Flap, former TZ Bros now out of
Aku
the
bagi
family.
yang
That's
bawah,
gonna
yang
be a
bawah.
final slash against KL.
Yang
Will
mahal
they
tu.
be able to stay alive? The answer is gonna be yes, but then it's gonna be Nova now, stunning them one by one. Kyle is in the midst of it. Oh, he's gonna use that Appraiser's Wrath to get the turtle and steal it away from the bees.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to out-threat that at that point.
No way. He didn't even use Retro for that. That was just a smack. Oh, James Banks. Gotta feel bad for him. That's two big retros he missed so far.
Yeah. But maybe this is a window of success or an opportunity for AP Brand. They were able to at least trim down Flap, but dashing away and an outplay is imminent. Bringing KLVJ down. It's the machine taking the kill.
Boleh ah.
For a second there, I was wondering, it's like, oh, how come the Falcons
Mahal.
isn't affected? But then, yeah, it's the golden hour of the Valentina.
Dapat skill hero baru, yup.
OG Marcel, like, I was confused for a moment.
Valentina really plays tricks on your minds, right? Earlier, actually game 1, I thought some of those were, you know, were killed.
Oh, yeah.
Was Haji, actually.
That's why I get so confused, bro.
So confusing, man. That's, and one of the perks as well, if you were confused, what more is their opponent?
Oh! But he's still able to stay alive. Super Marco might have to surrender this top lane turret as Ogwin is going to be facing Nova in that bush. The gold laner is going to be walking back safely. AP Brand still holding on to 1.2k gold lead.
Shizo, it's time to get some stacks, bro.
Get those stacks!
Again, but then it's difficult with the Arlot, Fredrin, Glue. You're really... Seems like the only way that you can get stacks is through a very, very long team fight.
Hodge, Marco.
Yeah, which then it becomes a question of, will Aqua's mana be enough?
Oh, it's Ogwin again. He's going to be the victim towards that golden hour. But it's still not enough.
The last Detonata didn't get caught.
No, that's
golden hour, unfortunately.
It also didn't look like he didn't maximize his Rhapsody there.
Right.
Oof.
Oh well. Yeah, I guess that's a pressure that you get when you have like all these really crazy set heroes. You can't maximize the golden hour as much as you want to.
And that's the thing, that's one big ultimate loss. But here is Kyle again, just using the retribution to be able to take that next turtle away. And now the fight ensues. Ogwin is right at the back, but a Crimson Beacon is going to be tossing him up. Goes up to that Zushin as well. Kyle's going to be joining the party, and instead, it's going to be 1-for-1 now.
Mati
Kyle,
dulu dulu
Hachi, and Flap are going to be backing away. Same could be said for AP Brand, while Super Marco is safely securing the bottom lane turret.
Yeah, great management of the macro from Falcons as always, but AP Brand will be able to trade it out a little bit as well. Getting a bit of a minion wave flow up top that Flap will have to deal with. and this allows AP Bren a bit more breathing room in the center to position around the bushes.
Yeah, that center right now, we're gonna have at least, even us, we're gonna need a lot of breathing room here. Non-stop action so far. AP Bren making sure that they hold on to that advantage that was slowly built up against Super Marco by Shizo on the bottom, on top side of the map. But they are actually slowly losing that. There are a lot of these fights where Super Marco wasn't even part of it.
Oh.
Hello?
Still a-okay for Nova as of the moment. There's still a usage on towards Ogwen, and I think it's inevitable for him to die, but the same can be said for Nova. Oh, what a turnaround it was.
Cheat!
Rated.
Yeah, still, great call for Ogwen to not let that go. He just decided to commit it, and he still got the trade.
Decent at least. I mean, the kill did go over the Aqua, so
Power
I'm not sure what
kuning.
the stacks are. Oh, he doesn't have...
Apa kaitan bodoh tadi glue dengan Marcel
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those. Suddenly he gets 2, then 3, then 4.
Tak ada kena mengena. Oh.
That's wishful thinking at this
Ayo.
point. Super Marco and Falcon still doing a great job at handling the maps, with James Spanks doing what he can to even out the efforts of Falcons with their macro pushes. Core items already locked in for Shizo, so he's up to the Malefic Roar. It's the gold laner's time to shine.
Oh, they're catching up, by the way. I mean, Super Marco has caught up, essentially, in the gold, despite all the ganks that were being done to his side there. Now, you're going to a bit of a lull here as we're approaching 9 minutes in the game.
Oh.
This next Lord's going to be massive.
Wait.
Oh, James.
Oh, he
You're playing a dangerous game here.
Dude, he kept the hat there. And Ogwen was like, what is happening? Instead, it's gonna be a few more. He missed.
Bro, babi tu dah kira hujung siap. I mean tak adalah hujung sangat, tapi tak adalah tengah sangat. Tempat juga ada flicker. Ayo yo.
A few more, he missed. Flap. Now Kyle from the back. It knows taunts Nova and thus deals some damage, but it's not going to be enough. So
Peluru
both
depan
teams
muka
made some
Dato'.
moves, but none that provided enough casualty for either side unless a final slash happens. LBJ using the consecration to be able to escape, but this is a signal for Team Falcons to push with the Lord.
Yeah, it's basically a full-on dive fight here. Golden hour cast in the middle, and it's LBJ keeping frozen. You got a grab right now happening, and they have Shizo. He's going to be able to...
Macam ulang tayang.
Traded once again.
That's trigger management coming out from Ogwen.
Tukar target lah.
Taking the gold laner down. Now Marco
Oh, yeah, what a reaction by Golden. Oi, patut stay ah. Aku sudah stay meninggal lah tu.
And Super Marco's just, I'ma get out of here quick.
Absolute flicker fest. Ladies and gentlemen, Falcons are just keeping pressure up. KLBJ and don't think has enough regen to survive against that Arlott and that Claude.
And Falcons will get this Lord. James Banks nowhere close. Kyle and Falcons secure it.
Oh, wow. Ogwen is big brain right now on this glue.
Oh, no,
Chill.
gonna go for a conceal again, and it's gonna be Ogwen stunning 3.
Terus halti
But the
bodoh.
plan is just to take down one turret at the middle. Team Falcons lifting up their
Aduh, masalah dia Zuji ni kan, kalau lawan glue, memang Zuji ni tak perlu kisah tu. Sebab dia boleh biar je bodoh glue panjat dia.
This is going to be a pretty big Lord push here right now, James.
Dia boleh ulti selepas tu.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Dan kadang-kadang tak payah timing tau. Maknanya kalau kau memang dah ada advantage position sikit kan, glue panjat quality terus ya. Lepas tu glue first skill 2 pun kau still akan berada dalam zone area yang memberat ke arah kau punya team. Sebab Zuzi ni punya ulti jauh ya.
Anyone actually, and now Super Marco's going to be joining the party. It's going to be another one from Ogwen, throwing it back to his teammates as Nova goes down once more. The siege continues.
Dah lama dah tak tengok Valley ni nak menang bila tak ada benda nak copy.
Doing his very best from the sidelines to actually help his teammates, and with that, Falcons backs away.
Dia tadi dia copy benda-benda yang tak berhasil je. Sebab tak ada benda sedap nak copy.
He is just absorbing a brunt of damage. KLVJ is the primary tank, but
Tapi dia boleh try main Alti Hardy tu.
Silva getting caught here.
Aku rasa aku tak nampak gitu.
Falcons have full control once more.
Valentina match up Harley ambil Alti Harley.
Continuing, even taking the purple buff for themselves.
Rasa macam menarik.
It's Team Falcons just starting to go Hunger Games
Ambil Alti
against
Harley.
Bren in this 12th
Fred
minute of
pegang
game number 2.
Fred cium satu, dia baling Alti kan. Anjas.
I wonder where James Pax is going to get the XP he needs right now. Does get level 15 finally.
Oh, that's a Crimson Beacon. What a surprise. I think he was anticipating that there was someone in that bush, but to no avail. That's another ultimate lost. Fortunately, it cools down in time for the Lord to spawn.
Part of me feels like that maybe also have been
Aku
just a
rasa
little bit
dia
of a
nervous
deterrent
lah.
from Aqua. He wanted to get into a better spot towards the minion waves and mid so that he can clear it before he gets any closer.
Oh,
another one.
All right.
Satu.
No,
Boleh one shot.
consistently
Maybe.
trying to make pickoffs happen on this. Marcel, it's not the target that you want, I think.
Oh, I think they were kind of caught off guard. They were only
Glowing
able
kena
to find
glowing.
Ogwen.
Itu item
With
meta
that,
sekarang.
they retreat.
Dia
as
kes
the Lord
helmet
spawns
campur
without
glowing.
a concealed play to actually kick things off with a 4.3k gold lead. AP
Konsep
Brand
dia memang
looking
kau
to
akan
charge,
soft
30%,
tapi
Lord HP,
kau dapat tangkap
Ogwen's gonna do it again.
enemy yang
Doing
apa?
enough damage, but apparently
Dia
not,
glue sekarang
as
orang dah
Super
tak
Marco
panjat,
are gonna be
orang
joined
dah
by
tak
bodies
target
that
tank
are
ah.
used against Ogwen.
Dia memang
In
dah
order
boleh
for
macam
them to
assassin
back
lah.
away, but that's a clean take, and another golden hour.
Lepas tu?
This might be the window that they would want, but to no avail. They were unable to
Lepas tu
maximize
apa?
the golden hour, beaten up by Nova.
Apa ni?
It's Falcons
Dulu
taking the
boleh panjat
lead and
macam ni lah. Boleh
smooth.
panjat Granger, boleh panjat Harley, boleh panjat
Ogwen
Zujin.
and Kyle can literally just stand in front of the
Dan
Granger.
memang sangat konsisten. Sama ada kau akan kill ataupun kalau kau tak kill pun hero yang kau panjat tu dia tak main lah.
It looks like we're
Sepanjang
gonna
team fight
go
tu.
sweep. And AP Brand hoping that Aurora
Nah,
loses
tapi tu
their
lah kena
series
buat build
against
item
Omega
yang
later so
yang
that they still
sekarang
have a shot at the playoffs.
glowing
Lots
dengan
of
kes
AP Brand
helmet.
fans are gonna
Babi
be
lepas tu dia
watching
ada
match
helmet
number 3
sial.
for sure.
Oracle.
And we are going to see a big parade with a conceal as well.
Sakit. Ada minion. Sempat ke? Sempat dok. Dah ada winter
Now he just has to use the lifesteal and join the fight like nothing happened. It's a full 5-man roster, and then all of a sudden the top lane inhibitors also went down. Super Marco back with a full HP. Now they look their sights, they set their sights on the bottom. It's gonna be another siege coming out from Team Falcons with a 7k gold lead.
Still one big wave down here bottom. Can they use this? Will they go for the finish here?
Oh, this is just big brain plays coming out from Team Falcons. 3 out of 3. All inhibitors, all turrets are down. They got more than what they wanted.
Tak panjat Harley pun valid tu.
Still no
Serius.
piercing stacks for Shizo.
Sebab Harley punya move speed laju sangat. Senang kau nak
James Banks has it.
biar dia langgar first kill glue.
Game goes on long enough, Aqua will then end up becoming a problem for AP Bren.
So glue ni agak rosak sebenarnya.
And Ogwen says,
Here, sir, you have to keep it in the hands of this Granger. The thing is, they can't get any kills.
oh, they kept on trying to go for Ogwen, and Ogwen says, I'm here. I'm very
Nice!
against you, and
What? That
Ogwen
predict?
says, I'm here.
Aku ingatkan dia nak letak kat sini
Trying
je.
to go for Ogwen, and Ogwen says,
Aku ingat dia nak letak kat sini bro. Sebab nak kena jalan.
I'm
Dia
here.
letak terus bangsat. Tempat dia nak flicker.
And Aqua will slowly fall
Party,
into his
man.
inevitable death. Same can be said for Shizu and the rest of the bees. The sting has fallen. Falcons flap their wings. They are calling 9k gold lead. James Banks has nowhere to go. It's a full
Yeah.
2 and with KLVJ and James, the
Tak boleh sampai dekat minion tu.
Tim
bro.
1000.
goes down to an inevitable end. It's Team Falcons. They're at the upper brackets for a reason, and they're here to
Yeah.
making it harder for
Dia
the
pusing-pusing.
bees to make their way. Around they go towards the playoffs, styling, wiling on every single AP Bren member. Sweep the series.
Best recall so far.
AP Bren and them
Dah lah pakai Recall Brain.
versus
Sebab tu dah pakai recall brand je.
and it's Team Falcons. They're at the upper brackets for a reason, and
Bruh.
they're here to dominate, making it harder for the
Bro.
bees to make their way.
Eh, recall Nabi lah, Nabi.
Go towards the single AP Brand member.
Aduh,
They
sialah,
sweep
man.
the series.
We were hell-bent on the story of AP Bren, and then making it to the
Membersiap tawaf
playoffs
by Haha.
versus Aurora. But there's still one more race you have to look out
Iwak
for.
lah.
Who gets top one? Falcons
Aduh.
beat AP Bren, meaning they have to hope that Liquid falls to
Ini FunMax kan?
And again,
Kan, dia tiga dia kan?
not removing your mind, it's still a streak for the Falcons. They're still gunning for that almost perfect season, regular season at least. And for AP Bren, if you're an AP Bren fan, one of the B's, eyes on the prize later. You are hoping, you are praying for match number 3.
I mean, we saw some fight coming out from AP Bren.
Okay. Oh, okay. Aduh. Aduh. Caca penat. Memang penat loh. Tak ada cacau. Aduh. So, vamos Tora. Vamos Tora. RBTR. Aduh. Dewa Gig Fam. BTR Evos. Aduh.
Kalah mati ikan.
Play in memang siapa kalah balik. Balik. Bagus lah buat format macam ni. Baru ada insentif sikit kan. Regular season nak dapatkan apa bracket.
So Kram boleh main kat mana Rino?
Selepas SRG menang 1. So SRG kena menang 1 lah. Mana-mana. So contohnya SRG kalah, SRG kena menang. Basically match nombor 3 dekat playoff baru dia main. So sama ada grand final ataupun lower bracket final. Ataupun Kram tak main lah kalau kalah dua-dua. So kita akan tengok ni dulu pukul 3 3 dengan 7. Tiga dengan 7.